What's up?
Yo.
So we were just talking about Zack Snyder's Justice League and how we feel about him as a filmmaker.
How do we feel?
Yeah, I know a lot of people are excited about it, and that's fine.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean, I get it. It's definitely not a Marvel movie.
yeah,
Um, so it was jarring at first because I thought they messed up the transfer or whatever they do over at
hmm
HBO Max because it's in like a 1.66 to 1 ratio.
that's what I thought I saw in like the trailers and whatnot. I'm like, is that just for the trailers, or is that
Nope.
literally the like? Oh boy.
Yeah, he it's supposed to be like the super IMAX aspect ratio.
Oh,
So, I mean, if you have a big screen, it works, I guess. If you have a small TV, it's just gonna look like you're trying to watch like a VHS tape from like the 90s.
yeah.
And it took me a while to figure that. I'm like, what is going on? Then I looked that up and I'm like, oh, he did it on purpose because he likes portraying the Justice League as like gods.
Yeah.
And so he likes the vertical height thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, it it's kind of like the first 10 minutes you're distracted by it because it seems wrong because you've been watching movies for a long while now and it's always in
Widescreen.
widescreen, and all of a sudden you're back to like almost like a one like a TV aspect ratio.
Four by
Was it
three,
one
yeah.
four
Yeah, I think it's
whatever?
4 by 3, yeah. That's I mean, for something like this, like a superhero movie, you only expect, widescreen.
Yeah,
Maybe like 16 by 9, like what our monitors are. Maybe something not as, narrow. But
right.
you're expecting something widescreen. And in something like that, yeah, that'd be jarring because the lighthouse is shot in 4 by 3, and even then it's still a little jarring for like a couple minutes. But you're like, okay, well, it's like an art house film, it's already shot
Yeah,
in black and white, it
it's
you
easier to
know
buy.
you're like, okay, this is
You're like,
fine, it's
okay,
obvious. But for something like that,
the Justice League. I mean, I guess it was shot for the IMAX experience.
yeah,
And I don't know if I've ever seen a movie in that IMAX aspect ratio because there's like
I,
two different kinds, right? There's like
yeah,
I mean, still widescreen, but it's a little bit taller. But then there's like,
yeah,
I guess the big one is really like a TV, like a
yeah.
big big ass TV.
I have. So this was years ago, back in like the late-ish 90s. I don't know if it's still there because it's been a long time since I've been there. There was, or is, an actual legit IMAX theater in Los Angeles at where all the museums are.
Yeah,
I remember actually seeing with my dad, they had a short, it was like 20-30 minute documentary thing, IMAX special documentary. From what I haven't been able to find anything on it. So I probably have the title of it wrong, but I remember it being called Movie Magic, and it just showed special effects in movies. And this,
huh.
like I said, this was late 90s. So
Yeah,
think about that when I'm about to say something. And I remember clear as day. I remember finding people talking about it. Like, what happened to that thing we saw? Like, did you guys see that movie, IMAX movie thing where it showed this? So it showed like classic, I remember it showed like Wizard of Oz, King Kong, like all of like the benchmarks for special effects.
right.
And then they like, it's a black screen, and it says, and then one movie changed everything. And we already know what it is. And it shows Star Wars, and everyone like claps and everything. and they were talking about, all the models and the matte paintings and all that cool stuff. And then at one point they said, I think this was kind of like one of their versions of announcements of things they're working on. And they were talking about the special editions. Okay, so actually this would have been, holy shit, I thought it was late 90s. This would have been early 90s. Because special editions were like 95 or something like that, from what I recall.
I'm trying to think here. Probably because Phantom came out 99.
99, yeah.
So probably 95, 96, 97, and then they worked on.
Yeah, then they worked
Yeah.
on the prequels. So I remember they split them up. I don't remember if it was once a year or if it was once
Once a
every
year?
6 months. Um,
I don't remember
let's
when they
see.
released them.
Yeah, when my bet would be 95 or 94. When did the special editions come out? It keeps telling me May 25th, 1977. No. Okay, here we go. Okay, I found it. Thank you, Wikipedia. We can always we can always trust you on this. Oh wow, it was later than I thought. So I guess it was kind of late 90s. The three movies were shown in the U.S. from January through March at a monthly interval. A New
Mm.
Hope was released on January 31st, 1997. Empire was February 21st, 97. And Return of the Jedi was March 7th, 97.
Hmm.
Um, I remember being like 95 or something. But anyway, yeah, during that they said, yeah, and we're going to show you us working on a reimagined opening scene. They showed a giant, Star Destroyer, new scale model they made, and they showed us the entire scene up until, they showed us like a few seconds of did you hear that? The first line we hear. But we saw the whole thing, and it was just mind blowing, incredible. And then I always remembered that. But then when the special editions came out, I realized even then this isn't what we saw in the theater. This wasn't the special edition version they were showing us. It was the
Yeah.
original. I mean, the original's still incredible, but I always
Right.
wonder what happened to that. What happened to that?
What was the original? One of the original idea then was
Yeah,
to add more.
like
I
it
mean, like,
was. Yeah,
how
it
did
was
what did
just.
they? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. All it was a remade version of the opening scene with the blockade runner and the Star Destroyer. That's all it was.
But it was remade, not
It was remade. Not
digitally
no, it was
restored or
remade. It
whatever.
was it was completely remade. They remade it from the ground up.
In model with models or like digital.
I think it was models and digital because they mentioned using two different things.
I wonder if
I
they that was the first. That was what they
attempt.
tried first,
Yeah, it,
and
it
then
could have been
someone's
just
like,
was use
and then
computers.
yeah, they're like, why don't we just do it all in computer?
Yeah, I mean it's possible, but I remember how
Like,
incredible it looked.
because like when they did the Star Trek Next Generation Blu-rays, like they took old like the original cut, and it was in the TV aspect ratio, and they recreated
Yeah.
so it's in widescreen, and then they added a whole bunch of like more windows and lights to the Enterprise and stuff.
hmm Yeah, I remember
So
seeing that. They like
they
it's
completely redid it, like not redid it, but like they en- enhanced and
yeah.
added a lot.
Yeah, like I've seen that cuz I remember when Disney Plus first came out. I still don't know if they've updated it. I don't think they had. The complaint people had was the Simpsons, all the Simpsons were on there. We're all excited like, wow,
Oh, because
we're getting
they
but what they did was they quote unquote adjusted it to be widescreen. All they
It's
did
like
was crop
crop it.
of they cropped it so like visual jokes were ruined, things
Yeah.
like that, and
It's the
then they were
whole
yeah
what's it called? It's the pan and scan
yeah.
version of it.
I also know I've seen like stills from like Buffy the Vampire Slayer how they did that, but that was a different mess up because yeah they had the full actual thing,
Yeah.
but you could see like members of the crew off to the
Because they
side. Yeah,
yeah.
so yeah, it's so
I
Star
kind of
Trek
want
did
to.
it right.
Yeah, Star Trek took their time and
Yeah.
did it right. Yeah. So, but yeah, that was what was jarring for the first couple minutes of the Snyder cut. I
I'll
don't know how far you want to go with this rabbit hole.
well yeah, we'll be talking all night, and I mean yeah, I'll get around to it, but like I was in the middle, I watched, this is, several months ago now. I watched all while not sober. um I watched them most pretty much, well, not all of them. I started to watch them in order. I started with Man of Steel, which I was like, oh, there's some good stuff in here. I mean, if
Yes,
you're
there is.
if you're ignoring, to me, the things that were jarring was essentially knowing basics of the character and what
Yes.
he's really like.
Mhm.
I'm okay. Well, I'm just gonna ignore it and pretend I know jack and shit. Like I don't even know what
Yeah.
Superman looks like. Like,
Yep.
okay, we'll just do that. Okay, so ignoring that, just visually, it's great for the most part. There are things that the things that I found really jarring were two things. And they both had to do with real handheld camera work, and fake handheld camera work. Like just all the handheld, just like for me, the most jarring was um, when Clark is still a kid and he, and he saved all those kids from drowning in the bus thing, and his dad, he's talking to him, and they're just sitting and standing and talking, just like, oh, I should, but
Yeah.
there's so much, and I'm like, I can't concentrate on what they're saying,
Yeah.
like
Yeah. Yeah.
that, and a lot of the action scenes are like this. I mean, it was cool at first, but he did it all the time. And that was like, if there's something in the distance action scene, the camera will do this fake zoom and it'll be shaky. Like it'll be like this, like, okay, we're zooming in with like a telescope or like super binoculars. Like he kept doing it. And I'm like, this is too much.
Yeah. He definitely overdoes tricks
Yeah.
to the point where they become a hindrance to the story.
Yeah.
Like he likes to go back to the same kinds of shots and whatnot.
Yeah. I mean, they look cool like once maybe, but
Yeah, it's the whole less is more. Like it's more effective you do it like here and there.
mhm.
But once it becomes every single time there's an action sequence,
Yeah.
it loses its appeal.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the whole M. Night Shyamalan thing, right? First couple movies, he's got this Shyamalan twist. And then all of a sudden you're just like, all right, what's the twist in this one? And then the
Yeah.
whole time you're watching a movie,
You're
like,
just waiting.
What's the twist?
What's the twist? What's the twist? What's the twist? Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
I'll get so okay, so yeah, so I saw Man of Steel, good stuff in it. I wasn't bored. I wasn't reaching for my phone to check out Twitter or something. And then I watched what came after? Was it Batman v Superman that came afterwards?
yes.
Okay, that's what I thought. So I watched all of that.
The Ultimate Edition?
That's
Or
the only
whatever?
edition I have.
Okay.
Yeah, I watched the Ultimate Edition, and like there's we both know there's only one scene in the entire movie that is truly worth watching. At least for me. I think you know what mine is. if I had to pick one scene, and that's when Batman go. Well,
Batman.
I'm just gonna say Bruce. That's not Batman. When Bruce goes to, goes to rescue Martha.
Yeah.
That I mean, minus the murder part,
Minus the murder Batman part.
minus him just crushing a guy's skull by slamming against the wall and the grenade, and just having a minigun,
Right.
and actually firing, a machine gun. Like minus the murder parts, the actual how intimidating he is, how strong he is, how stealth he is, because we still haven't really seen him be stealth in any live action stuff. Not
Not
We've gotten
really.
hints of it, but not. I mean,
Yeah.
I only thing I remember him being like stealth and scary was in, like, as far as live action. Aside from that, was in Batman Begins.
In
When
the
yeah, there's two
mhm.
scenes. There's the first time we see him as Batman, when he's busting the corrupt cops, doing the drugs in that kind of alley with all those containers.
Yeah.
The where are you? And he goes here like that.
Yeah.
That scene, and then later on when he's
The
when
in the shipping
yeah,
yard.
yeah, in the shipping yard, yeah. So I'm
It's a
like,
shipping
okay,
yard
yeah. So I'm like, of course it's Batman. We need a shipping yard, container, warehouse, whatever.
warehouse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's great. But then he kind of stopped being stealthy. He just started just charging in to the point where, by the third one, he was broad daylight
Broad daylight.
Batman. Yeah,
It's that's
mixed in
jarring
with
too.
everyone.
Because
Yeah,
you're like,
just like this is weird. Like, what's
that's
he doing?
weird. Batman's out in the daylight.
Yeah,
This is a job for everyone else.
yeah. And all the bad guys that have automatic weapons not firing a shot, or just like firing at the ground,
Yeah.
like they just hit with the butts or whatever. But I mean, there's even I have issues with that one too, but I still watch it. I still enjoy it. So
Yeah. I mean, it's this is how I approach this whole universe. It's
mhm,
that if I approach it from the standpoint of how I approach Burton's Batman and
mhm,
Nolan's Batman,
yeah,
which is neither of them are the comic book Batman, not even
no,
close.
no,
Um, but I can enjoy them for what they were,
yeah,
right? Uh, that's fine. But I had to just look at Superman as like, this is not this comic book Superman. This is this version of Superman where apparently, apparently his parents taught him not to be a hero.
yeah. Just like, yeah, just let him. Yeah, you should have let those kids die.
Yeah, as soon as that line hit when I watched Man of Steel, because I did the same. I watched Man of Steel, Batman v Superman before I watched Justice League.
Oh, okay.
As soon as he says, what am I supposed to do? Let him die? And Jonathan Kent is like, maybe. I'm like, and this is the Snyderverse.
Yeah,
This is no longer anything close to the comic version of Superman. This is Zack Snyder taking these characters and making them
whatever he wants.
whatever he wanted.
Yeah,
Like, I want to say flawed, but they're not. Like, they're not even uniquely flawed. Like, there's so
no,
many parent issues in this universe.
yeah,
Lex Luthor has parent issues. Batman lost his parents. Uh, Clark's parents taught him to be afraid. Um, Victor Stone, Cyborg, has a bad relationship with his father. Aquaman has a problem with his mother.
yeah,
The Flash, his father's in jail. There's a lot of parent issues, and you know, the parents are the ones who kind of form most of these heroes,
yeah,
right? I mean, the Flash, that's kind of the way it is, but like Batman and Superman, they both learn the wrong lessons from their past,
hmm,
which makes them who they are in the comics. But Zack Snyder, or I don't know who wrote the first one, but they twisted it enough where it's similar, but it's the completely wrong direction. It's kind of like
Yeah.
how in Avengers Endgame, Sorcerer Supreme is like, here's the timeline.
Hmm.
This is where you take out the Infinity Stones, and then the
Yeah.
whole other timeline,
Yeah.
like that. This is the timeline where we take out the morality of Jonathan and Martha Kent, and then this goes this
Yeah.
way.
We're doing completely something completely different now.
Yeah, it's the Kelvin timeline in Star Trek. It's when Thor dies, and instead of raising Captain Kirk, it's the whole JJ verse timeline,
Yeah.
where things are just slightly different,
Yeah.
and we get a lot of like destruction porn.
I bet. Yeah.
That doesn't change.
Oh, I was wondering, is that stuff back? All that over? I mean, was there stuff like that? Because I still haven't. Like I said, I got it. Okay, so I saw all. I rewatched Batman v Superman, and I was like, okay, well, there's things. A lot of it was. I was looking at my phone a lot again, and I would again. I need to reiterate this. When I'm high as a kite watching this movie and I'm still bored, something's wrong. Because at least Batman v Superman, yeah, I was high, but I was like, this is awesome. Like, yeah, it's kind of dumb, but I'm enjoying myself. This is
I mean,
fun.
Man of Steel.
Yeah, yeah, sorry, yeah, Man of Steel. And then I did the
Yeah.
same thing. With Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman to me, like the first two acts is the best so far, the best out of all. The first one.
Yes. Yes.
Um, I stopped like just when the third act was going to start, but not on purpose because Wonder Woman 84 just came out and
Yes.
yeah, and Nicole wanted to go over it, she wanted to go cuz it's a thing where we'll go over to her parents' place, we'll have dinner, we'll watch a movie. And the pick that night was Wonder Woman 84 with her
I,
parents.
yeah. I wanted to like it.
I wanted to too, and I was like, what's happening?
Again, there are good parts of that movie.
Yeah, there are.
It's when it got rapey that it took me out of that story. Because if that was reversed
Mm-hmm.
and it was a dude who wished for, his dead girlfriend to come back, and the dead girlfriend inhabited the body of another woman, that would not fly.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm like, this is still kind of the same thing where, like, I don't, and the logic of it doesn't make sense in the world that
Yeah.
they created. That's a problem also with the DC universe. They make
Mm-hmm.
rules and they break them
Yeah.
all
All
the
the time.
time. Like the whole timeline doesn't make sense either,
Yeah.
because Batman's been operating. They keep saying like Batman was operating for 20 years,
Mm-hmm.
but yet, and the fact that Gotham City and Metropolis are across the bay from each other,
Mm-hmm.
and when Clark Kent in Batman v Superman is like, I want to do a story on the Bat, and everyone's like, we don't believe in that. Motherfucker, every night
Yeah.
the bat signal goes up for 20 years.
Yeah. We don't believe in
It doesn't exist.
that. It's literally across you just get on a boat and you're there and
Yeah, there's so many times
maybe an
like
hour or
when
two.
they're showing the bat signal, and it's from Metropolis.
You can
Point
see
of
it
view.
you can see
You're
it
like,
from Montreal.
and then the whole like in Batman v Superman at the whatever the charity thing is that Lex Luthor is having,
Yeah.
and Clark Kent, reporter, is like, who's that? Like,
Yeah.
doesn't know who Bruce Wayne is. He owns buildings in Metropolis. Like,
Yeah.
it'd be like saying like, I don't know who Donald Trump is before he was president. Like,
Yeah.
you know who the guy is. You know Richard Branson. You know Jeff Bezos.
Yeah.
Like, they're like the richest people in the world.
Yeah.
And one of them was like in like the city across the bay.
Yeah. And he also has a building in your
Yes.
city that probably
With a
has a
big
giant
W.
W that says Wayne on it.
Yeah.
You don't know who that is. Come on, just like you'd be a little kid. I mean, yeah, he was small. He'd be a little what, 10-year-old? Mama, what's that building? Oh, that's the way. Like, come on. Or even
And,
just school kids,
yeah, and in Batman v
schoolmates.
Superman, you know he's been working in at the Daily Planet for a while because
Yeah. Isn't the building
time
like
has
around the
passed.
corner or something like
Yes,
that? Can't you see it just you look
it's
outside
like
from the offices?
it's like not knowing who Lex Luthor is when his name is like on everything.
Yeah.
LexCorp. It's like, dude, really? So it's all these little, and it may sound petty, but it distracts from the world. Like the world is already broken. You've broken the rules.
Yeah.
We want, obviously you want suspension of disbelief, right? Because we're in a superhero world.
Mm-hmm.
So you're gonna buy that Wonder Woman, like the Amazons have been around for thousands of years,
Mm-hmm.
um, and those kind of things. Aquaman exists,
Yeah.
Atlantis exists.
Mm-hmm.
So establish that. That's fine. But
Yeah.
when you start breaking up your own like established timelines and rules and whatnot,
Yeah.
that takes you out of it. It's kind of like how sometimes the prequels contradicts the original trilogy. You just kind of have to accept it. It's like, all right,
Like
he wrote
fine.
those like 25, 30 years ago.
And he
Fine.
he threw out one draft per movie. Like, all right, George, just go with it. Like,
Yeah. Like, okay, some time has passed. He wants to do this now. It's fine.
yeah.
You can't expect us to forget that you just wrote the other movie like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, over there it's kind of forgivable. George was older. Just
yeah,
yeah,
no,
right.
this is
Like,
the next movie.
yeah.
Like, all right, wow. So
Oh well. Okay, here I'm gonna go AFK for like 5 minutes because I'm doing my laundry. Apparently, we have two viewers. They haven't said anything.
hi.
Yeah. Well, as far as I'm concerned, we're just having the same kind of conversation we would be having
Oh yeah,
if we were like in Disneyland right now, just like sitting on Main
on
Street.
a bench going like,
Yeah, just like so. Yeah, how about that Snyder cut?
Snyder cut.
We'd just be sitting for like an hour or two just talking, which I know we've done before.
Oh,
Like
I'm
talking
sure we
about
have.
Star Wars, we've just sat like we're like shit. We haven't done anything for like 2 hours.
Yeah, it's fine.
But yeah, okay. So I'm gonna do the AFK screen thing. It's like 5-ish minutes. I'm just gonna take stuff out of the dryer, put more stuff in the dryer, and then I'll be right back.
All right.
All right, be right back. That was quick.
I changed my lighting.
Oh, would you? Oh, mine's the same. I didn't do shit.
I figured I'd match a little bit closer.
Okay. So I guess my final question for you, and when it comes to the Snyder cut, if which one do you think was better, the Snyder cut or the Whedon cut? Gun to your head, you have to pick one.
I would say the Snyder cut by a hair.
Hmm.
Because what was funny though, what I liked about the Justice League the first time around wasn't most of the movie. It was the end of the movie,
Mm-hmm.
which is what changed. A lot of that changed in the Snyder cut. And what I liked about what Whedon's version is that we saw Superman.
Mm-hmm.
Snyder took that out.
Oh, he did.
Like in Whedon's version, we see Superman as how he should have always been, kind of like the opposite of Batman, not moody.
Yeah.
He's kind of jokey, not
Yeah.
jokey, but like he's lighthearted,
Yeah.
right?
He's nice.
There's a subplot point that is omitted in the Snyder cut involving like this family that's around the area that Steppenwolf has built his fortress or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So there's people there, is what that establishes.
Mm-hmm.
And in the Whedon version, they spend some time actually saving people,
Oh god.
which there is literally not much of that in this version of it. There's like one, but I feel like they just happened to be there where they were. They weren't actually setting out to rescue people. They just happened to have people there. But in that sequence, Superman returns, spoiler, and instead of going straight after the bad guys, he's like, we need to save people. So he and like Barry Allen, the Flash, go and start rescuing, making sure that people are out of harm's way. And when he's doing so as the Batman we all kind of like in any almost iteration of Batman, like the Christopher Reeves version, Lois and Clark version, the animated version,
Oh, you
George
mean
Reeves
Superman?
version.
You
Yeah,
mean
like
Superman.
all the other
Yeah.
versions, like he's more concerned about other people.
Yeah.
And so I guess Whedon might have seen this and be like, Superman is not Superman, so let's put in something where he's actually being a hero.
Yeah.
Which is something that's like a lot of the heroes in the DC universe don't do a lot of being heroes. And so that's what I was like, all right, all my kind of problems with Batman v Superman and Man of Steel was that Superman is not Superman.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, okay, this is why I like the Justice League. I'm like, it's still a bad movie, but there was like a course correction at the end, and I was like, gave me hope, just like his symbol is supposed to be.
Yeah.
That okay, moving forward, they can go with this version of the heroes where they're well, not I want to say like lighthearted, but like there's a distinction between all of them. And Superman has always been the anti-Batman, and Batman's the anti-Superman, but they're both heroes. In the Snyder cut, not only does Superman just there's no people to save. They're like they chose that. So,
Watching you struggle with this is great, by the way.
in Batman v Superman, at the end, they make it a point in the storytelling, the exposition of it in like certain ways, like watching a newscast and like, oh well, there's something going on in Gotham Harbor. Thank God it's after hours and no one's around.
It's like
Right?
it's like the throwaway line. Oh, that building's on. Oh, good. There's no one at that building.
There's no one
like,
at that building. And
oh,
I
okay.
want to say that's in there because that was a problem with the Man of Steel ending was like there's so much death and destruction,
Yeah.
and so they did the same thing. Like it's totally destruction porn,
Yeah.
but they're like had to throw in that line that came literally from like a newscast. Oh, it's after. Thank God it's after hours and no one's
Yeah.
around. This gives them free reign to destroy
Yep.
everything.
Everything can be absolutely
Yeah.
demolished right now.
So in the Snyder cut, because they no longer have people in that area,
Hmm.
they are like trying to find where this is, and they're like, "Oh, it's this place right next to something miles uh off Moscow, right?" And it's like no one's here. I was like, "Oh yeah, because no one's been there since the accident 30 years ago, right?" Like it's supposed to be Chernobyl, but it's not,
Yeah.
right?
They didn't say it. They
And so
say
like no
accident.
one's there. It's uninhabited. And this one of them goes like until now,
Oh my god.
and that's where they are. So there's no reason for Superman or Barry Allen to rescue anybody. There's no one there.
Hmm.
It's a totally uninhabited area. So there's that, and then yeah, so Superman just comes in. Okay, so in the comics, Superman has died before, right? There's a
Hmm.
big thing in the '90s where he died,
I remember that. I
right?
remember even then, like, yeah, it was Doomsday that killed him. I even remember the last. Even like I remember it was both pages of like of Lois holding his dead
Yeah.
body, and also seeing Doomsday on the like they
Mhm.
kill each other pretty much. And
And
then the
then
whole series of all the not Supermans. Like I remember like Superboy, the actual Man of Steel, which was just literally a steel guy. Like I
later became
remember,
a movie starring Shaquille
yeah,
O'Neal.
yeah. Like I remember that one. I remember Superboy. Wasn't there like some kind of like God version of him too? Do I remember that
There
right?
was something I can't
There were a
remember.
few. There were a few.
There's like Steel, then there was like a cyborg,
Yeah,
another cyborg version of him. But
yeah,
like,
that,
eventually he comes back,
yeah.
right? And one of the iterations of him coming back, he lost the cape and he had a black suit on.
See, I don't remember that, but
So he comes back in this movie. He, he does the thing. Um, and there's another change, right? In the Whedon cut, when Superman comes back and he does forgets who he is, starts fighting the Justice League because that's what you
yeah,
do.
yeah.
Um, Batman sends, I think, Alfred to go get Lois Lane because he knows if something happens, he like Lois Lane is the key to
Bring
Superman.
him back. Yeah,
This is not how that happens in the Snyder cut. So the original version, there's a whole CD story about Lois Lane and Martha Kent, where they're trying to deal with everything. Apparently, Lois Lane is not gone to work since the Clark's death, and then she keeps visiting the shrine that used to have the big
yeah.
statue
The
of
big
Superman and stuff.
Superman. Yeah.
And she went there every day, and then she's there. So she just happens to be there, and that's what brings Superman back. So it wasn't like Bruce thinking like, well, the key to Superman is Lois Lane,
It was just like
right?
she just happened to be there, like she
Yeah,
just like because she went there, like that
yeah.
was the key to everything.
She they had that D plot point so they can establish that Lois Lane went to that shrine
Hmm.
every day. So,
Okay.
I mean, and then this is where I realized that Chris Terrio definitely wrote Rise of Skywalker because
Wait. Did he co-write the Snyder cut too?
yeah,
Oh, Jesus Christ.
um, because I feel like he wants these set pieces,
Hmm.
and then he needs to figure out a way to get to that set piece, and he'll throw in something
Yeah.
like, "Oh, we'll just have Martha and Lois just keep buying. Like we'll watch Lois buy coffee every day, and it's 2 cups of coffee, and she gives one to the guard that's apparently there every day, and she just stands there and stares. And that's how you get Lois Lane at the place where the Justice League will fight Superman. We need Palpatine at the end of Rise of Skywalker, so we'll just put it in the crawl.
Yeah, he's back, and like we'll have a throwaway line. Somehow Palpatine has returned from the dead. They're like,
Like
all right,
clones.
we don't need to discuss it further though. Like,
And then I was like literally going like, oh, so that's how he writes. I want these beats to happen, but I have no idea how to get from A to B, except it's a shoehorn.
a character says a random character says a thing. Oh, yeah. Okay.
Like if you watch Batman v Superman, Lex Luthor has nothing to do in that movie.
Yeah.
Really, he has nothing to do.
He didn't do anything.
He has no point in that movie. Because everything that Bruce was doing would have pointed to Superman anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So he was just there because you need a Lex Luthor to fight.
That's not really a Lex Luthor.
Yeah, and that's not really Lex Luthor.
Yeah.
It's like the cross between 12 Monkeys, Brad Pitt, and I don't know, Willy Wonka, like Johnny Depp, Willy Wonka, I guess. Johnny Depp,
Willy Wonka, and excuse me, and I'm sure that Terrio saw The Social Network and loved it and just wrote some of that try to write Aaron Sorkin dialogue in there too. It falls flat on its face, but
it so does. It's like,
yeah,
I can't buy like everyone who went to like Lex Luthor's charity thing and he starts rambling incoherently.
Yeah,
and people are just like, it's not like he's like that. So it's like everyone would know that he's like that, but everyone seems surprised that he's just like rambling like a moron.
Yeah, everyone's like,
weird,
like
prophecy.
Wait a minute,
and that's another thing that's a through line to this whole series is like they all have weird visions. No one explains why they all have them. Like Batman keeps having visions of the future, and nowhere is there a reason for it.
Yeah.
Victor Stone, like when he's explaining things, has weird visions.
Yeah.
And it's just like, wait, why are we in a is this how they do exposition where someone's like it'll be like when it's basically is like when the Fresh Prince starts rapping and you see the sequences, it's like he's doing that in the show.
Yeah.
But then when he's doing it, the audience just always sees that version of his story.
Yeah.
And you're just like, why are we keep watching like this weird vision of the story he's telling? And then sometimes it's not that. It's just a weird, like, I'm like, why? Doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
You know. And even at the end, like, oh my god. The epilogue of Zack Snyder's Justice League.
Oh boy.
The return of the Joker.
That's the epilogue.
It's a long epilogue. It's way longer than I thought it was going to be. I'm like, oh my god, this is like the Lord of the Rings endings. Like, it just keeps going. And like, it's another vision of Batman's, and it makes no sense. Like, why? Like, you know, in the Marvel universe, like Tony Stark has these nightmares about things because he was shown it by Scarlet Witch.
Yeah.
Right. So, and then he also has nightmares because he went into and saw the Chitauri.
Yeah,
thing.
he's
right.
Yeah, he
I mean,
has a hard time. It makes sense.
It's some other traumatic experience happened to Bruce besides his parents dying that explains why he's having these weird post-apocalyptic visions of the future.
Yeah.
Then sure, but I guess Chris Terrio didn't have time to write that F plot into the story to explain why Bruce is having these weird visions every so often that started in Batman v Superman, which made no sense.
That just shows the quality of writing and forethought into the MCU compared to the DCEU. Just we have this thing set up in Age of Ultron of the beginning, essentially the beginning stages of how how Tony Stark is dealing with literally finding out within the matter of what days that all of this shit exists and we all got invaded and he almost died. He literally jumped into a portal and could have just
Yeah.
yeah, just he could have died a death literally no one else on the on that planet would have died. You like you just went from Earth to middle
Wherever.
of wherever
Space.
and you're going to nuke everything.
Alpha Centauri, whatever he
Yeah.
was.
Yeah. Just like, oh, I'm across the universe now all of a sudden.
Yeah.
And then just and then we get more of that in you know in Iron Man 3 and it just can and you know he kind of but he even though he kind of learns to deal with it in Iron Man 3, that's still there because that it literally happens to him. Like his general fear of all the people he cares about just dying in front of him and he has he can do nothing about it literally happens a few movies later.
No.
And it's just great and then we have this.
Yeah. I mean, look. It's not super terrible, but and I know a lot of people don't like it. It's fine. Like it's definitely, if you don't think about it, you don't try to connect the dots, and you don't care who Superman and Batman are as people.
Turn off your brain and watch the lights.
Yeah, it's action sequences. It's a lot of pretty visuals, and that's fine if that's what you're looking for. You know, and like I said, I watch these with that notion of, okay, this is the Snyderverse version of these characters, and so I'm taking them as how they're presented, and I do see a lot of the flaws in their storytelling because there's a lot of contradictions that don't make any sense.
Yeah.
You know, Snyder really, really wants them to be gods. If you like watch these movies, like pay attention to normal people. Like really pay attention to normal people.
Yeah.
You have a lot of scenes where people are just staring at them like they're worshiping them.
Yeah.
Like when Superman shows up,
literally
like,
putting their arms up and just
yeah. And then just standing, like literally just standing there.
Yeah.
And then like in this movie, like, you know, Aquaman goes to this village and like I guess 4 months out of the year, like somehow they're cut off from the rest of the world, and like they would all die if Arthur Curry didn't bring them fish from the sea. and then when he's leaving, like he visits, does whatever, he takes off his sweater, jumps into the ocean, and like literally there's a scene where these people are just standing watching him do it and then start singing a song.
What?
Yes. It's not in the Whedon cut, but they're just like singing this like song to him, but they're literally just standing there singing, and then this one lady who's singing like picks up his sweater and like sniffs it.
Oh Jesus.
And then Bruce is there because he's trying to recruit him, and then they're standing there, and he just like goes, like walks through them, and they all part like the Red Sea. Right? And it's a lot of that with people in these movies.
Oh my God. Okay, I'm clearly gonna have to get back to watching everything because I need to see this now.
Yeah, and every time Arthur Curry goes back in the sea, he takes off his sweater. It's the same sweater.
Wait a minute.
Where does he get it? Like they keep it. I feel like they keep it at this little shack place that they have.
Yeah, they have like this like special thing they hang it up on. I guess
every time he comes back from the sea, like, oh, here's my sweater.
Yeah.
Like, dude, then just leave it there. Then you like, dude, you realize you make them pick up your sweater after you leave, and they have to go and hang it up for you. Come on.
Oh my God.
It's awesome. And I'm pretty sure it contradicts Aquaman the movie. I haven't seen Aquaman the movie since the theater, but like Willem Dafoe and Johnny Depp abuser are in it.
Wait. Hang on. Slow down. What?
Have you seen Aquaman? Did you watch Aquaman?
No, I didn't get that far because what happened was,
that's right.
wait, what happened was I was in the middle. I was going to finish
Yeah.
because I remember we talked about it. I told you, I was like, yeah, I started watching Wonder Woman and it's great.
Wonder Woman.
But then I know, like, remember at some point, I think I told you where I was, and you're like, yeah, like pretty much. Oh yeah, it was after that incredible battle scene with with the trenches and how they
Yes.
they take back the city. I said I'm right there, and and Diana
Yeah.
and yeah, they have they have their kind of falling in love moment, which actually makes sense. It's not just tacked on, because you felt tension from the beginning.
Don't even
And
get me started on that.
yeah, yeah, I bet.
The love
And
story of Clark and Lois, and then there's this weird hint of Bruce and Diana
what?
flirtation
Wait a minute. What? Oh
in the
God.
Justice League. But
All
anyway,
right, all right,
yeah.
all right. I'll get to it.
Okay.
But
But
and I remember.
Aquaman, yeah. So Aquaman, Willem Dafoe. So the story of Aquaman, and if you're one of the 2 or 3 people who are here, the story of Aquaman is that he is half Atlantean, half clone. I mean, he's half human
Mhm.
because his father is Boba Fett. it's Tamora Morrison,
Oh,
right? Who falls in love with Nicole Kidman because who wouldn't fall in love with Nicole Kidman? But she's like the queen of Atlantis, and so
yeah.
they have a child, and that's Arthur Curry.
Okay.
And it's like a forbidden thing. So she has to give up raising Arthur because the Atlanteans and Amazons, for all their like technology and whatever, they have not progressed like socially. They're still very much like the royal, like the
Oh.
royalty, like like monarchy kind of thing,
Yeah.
and like old traditions that never ever modernize. That's why they still walk around in like with swords and stuff.
Yeah.
Um, but at some point, then in Arthur's life, he realizes who he is, and then like Willem Dafoe is like his mentor, trainer person.
Hmm.
But then I forget exactly what happens. But like at some point he like abandons Atlantis, and he's like, "Screw you guys, I'm out of here."
Hmm.
But in this movie, like William Dafoe is in it, and they're trying to convince him to go be the king of Atlantis. And there's a whole plot point in Aquaman about this
Hmm.
that I'm pretty sure is not what they did in Justice League. So now I'm not sure
Huh.
what happens in Aquaman.
Well, I mean, discussing this now, it does make me want to go back sooner to finish.
Curious, right?
I'm now more curious. At first, I was like,
Yes.
I'm curious, and then it was Wonder Woman '84 that I was like, okay, I think I'm gonna wait. Like it just and this and I mean, Pedro was the best part of that movie because he's like, I'm just gonna fucking ham this shit up, and it's gonna be great.
He did a
Um,
better ham up job than Colin Farrell did in Daredevil.
I saw it back when it came out, so I barely remember it, but I do remember how hammy he was and
Like
how
he
people
went
were making fun of
like
him.
there's a line and he crossed it 8 million times. Like Pedro at least had fun with it.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
feel like
he was having fun.
Colin Farrell was trying to be the next Joker in a movie that wasn't like that. And
Yeah,
so it didn't make any sense. At least with Wonder Woman 84, like it was embracing some of the 70s ish
yeah,
campiness
yeah.
and stuff. And I can appreciate that. Like there's parts of it I like,
Yeah.
but it's definitely not Wonder Woman where I like 2/3 of it. There's like I like probably 2/3 of Wonder Woman 84, but
Hmm.
not consecutively.
Yeah, it's
Like
like scattered.
it's scattered here and
Yeah,
there.
yeah. Like I remember at the end of the movie, Nicole's dad, George, looks over because he's kind of sitting like to the left, like further down, like it's like a big L shaped couch like in the
Yeah.
corner, and he just looks over. He's like, "All right, that was Wonder Woman 84."
Pretty much what I watched, going like,
Yeah,
okay, that's one way to go.
yeah,
Uh, like I'm still
yeah,
not sure how that ending was an ending.
yeah. It was strange to see.
Well, it's like that's another like that's like the difference between Snyder's and Joss's. Joss definitely had more lighthearted moments. There's the moment in Joss's cut where they're sitting around like in Batman's plane, and Aquaman starts talking about how he's like how he cares. He's like, I really care, and blah 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 blah, and blah blah. You
Hmm.
know, he starts like confessing these things,
Hmm.
and he realizes that his foot is touching the lasso, right?
Yeah,
And Wonder Woman's lasso, makes you tell the truth and whatever.
yeah, yeah.
And I'm like, watching Wonder Woman 84, I'm like, hey, that's the same trick that they did in Joss Whedon's Justice League, where like his foot is on the lasso.
Yeah,
Starts telling the truth to the world or whatever. But
that's too
that's
great.
cut from Zack Snyder's. Like, there's no fun.
Yeah, of course it is. So I guess what I'll do. This is a crazy idea, but I
Uh,
guess it's something we've already kind of talked about. I'll do it on here, maybe starting next week. Cause why the fuck not? I don't know how I do it on here because you can't like show movie obviously on Twitch, but I wonder about
right.
the audio to sync it up at least.
Yeah, I don't know how
At
that
least at
works.
least for a couple seconds in case someone wants to watch along. um, maybe I'll. I mean, I could finish Wonder Woman just on my own because, like I remember where I left off. That's like what, like 30, 40 minutes from the end, I think, from what I remember. I forgot exactly how long. From where I left off in the first Wonder Woman, but after, oh, sorry, if I remember this right. So, what came after Wonder Woman? Was it Justice League or was it Aquaman? I think it was Justice League, but you would know. I feel like you would. I mean, I have the power, infinite power at my fingertips.
I think it was Justice League.
Justice League was 2017. What? When 2017? March 13th. No, 2018. What? Was it 2017 or 2018? IMDb says 2017. November 17th.
DCEU. Yeah, whatever. Now, this is giving you the chronological timeline.
Oh.
Because the
Oh.
chronological timeline is way different.
Oh.
I forgot about Suicide Squad and Birds of Prey.
I'm not watching Suicide Squad again. I put my foot down on that.
I mean, I'll watch the new one.
uh oh, I would no. I mean, yeah, absolutely. But, that the other Suicide Squad, I'll pass on. I'll pass on. I watched it once and see, I mean, the only parts I enjoyed in Suicide Squad, the original, quote unquote original one that came out a few years ago,
Yes.
was Jared Leto's Joker, but not in the way you think. Like, we're talking like this is so embarrassing it's actually funny. Like, it would just like Jared Leto's Joker is essentially was essentially so I'm taking this from a YouTube channel, but he said that the witch lady from Trolls 2. I don't know if you're familiar with that. It's been a while.
It's been a long while.
Yeah. So just acting super super ultra eccentric. Like that
Yes.
to him equaled Joker, which, as we both know, is not Joker. Like, I was having a blast watching him. Like, it
Is
was
that how it
great.
was? It's been a while since I saw it. I
That's
only
what I
saw it
remember.
once. Because I also thought he was also part like weird city
Yeah, he was both. He was trying to pull off the city
banger kind
gang,
of,
li- like
or like wise
mobster.
guy mobster guy,
Yeah,
right?
I mean, but I remember just seeing it. Like I said, I only watched it once. I remember seeing it and be like, I don't know what this is, but this isn't Joker in any way. But I'm enjoying myself. This is fun. He's great. You know, in the he like it was like that thing, that circle, like where it's like here's horrible and bad up here, and then the circle keeps going, and it circles all the way back around to being good, but in a different way, like so bad it's good.
Yeah. I will
Um,
say, because he's in Zack Snyder's cut, because they filmed like a new scene
yeah,
with him,
yeah,
and I literally like when I first saw it, like announced it, I thought it was gonna
hmm,
be a little scene. It's a pretty long scene with him
hmm,
in it.
yeah,
I would watch a Batman movie, with him as that Joker.
hmm.
Because it's definitely not the same Joker that he played in Birds of Prey. Like, oh my
Was he
god, you're
in
like,
Birds of Prey?
I mean, not Birds of Prey, in Suicide
Oh,
Squad.
in Suicide Squad. Okay.
Um, because just his, like, he was pushing Batman's buttons so much, where I'm just like, oh my god, Batman's gonna kill him.
Oh,
But
so it
he was
actually
pushing it.
so it actually got interesting
Yeah, it
in a
did. And then
Snydery way.
But then Batman does the unbatman thing where he, like, I don't know, maybe he's still the Batman, but like this is also during a weird vision, so it's like who knows.
Oh,
Um, but yeah, like the Joker pushes Batman's buttons, and then the Batman then also does the same back.
hmm.
And I'm just watching that, going like, you know what? I would
All right.
watch
Yeah.
this
Sure. Why
movie.
not?
I'd watch Jared Leto versus Batfleck. the
Joker,
prequel
Leto, and
the
Batfleck.
prequel to that conversation I want to see.
Yeah.
That's what I want to see.
Hmm.
Um, because man, I was like, where was this? Where was this Joker?
Yeah.
Like, I want to see this Joker.
Yeah.
So I will say I actually like that scene a lot,
Okay.
even though the context of that scene and where it is and whatever's happening in it around that conversation.
No.
You know,
Oh, like whatever.
I mean, it's a thing.
Hmm.
Like, yeah, I don't know if it's gonna go anywhere, because like Zack Snyder said he's done, and I don't
What?
think they're continuing with this whole thing the way it is, because the Batman is not this Batman,
Yeah, it's a different one, right?
right? Suicide Squad, I don't think it's
No,
really
I don't think it is.
a sequel. Um,
They're starting from scratch again.
like,
That's what I gather.
and you can do it if you use the Flash movie as a flashpoint,
Hmm.
and you can still keep Jason Momoa, you can keep Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
Just be like, and Flashpoint, and
Hmm.
all that shit that happened before never happened,
Yeah.
or if happened differently, and so things are different.
Hmm.
Um, that would be an interesting thing. So it would be definitely interesting if they go with the actual Flashpoint, like what happens to like the Waynes.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be awesome to see on screen.
Yeah. I mean, for all we know, they might. Oh, someone actually showed up and said something. Oh, it's someone that used to show up in here, but kind of went AFK on us. But in all fairness, I went AFK on here for quite a while. Like, what was it, like 2 3 months, a few months,
Wow.
maybe. So welcome back, M7880, Eddie 80. I mean, if this 7880, Eddie, if you remember anything, I don't do any of these streams sober. So that's why I read your name as 80 instead of Eddie. He said, "Good time for superhero fans right now." Yeah, I'd say
Yeah,
we're
I
getting
agree.
isn't midnight when we're getting Falcon and Winter Soldier? Is that tonight or is that
Yep.
next? Okay, that's what I
No,
thought.
it's tonight or this morning, whatever, in
Yeah, yeah,
midnight.
yeah,
Um, yeah. Um, yeah, I would agree. It's definitely a good time for
yeah,
superhero fans. There's a lot going on.
yeah,
So I mean, DCEU is your steez, and sweet.
yeah.
You will
More.
probably enjoy the Snyder cut.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I mean, I wasn't bored watching it.
Oh, well, okay, well that's good. Versus
Right.
like for me, how Batman v Superman and how especially the original Suicide Squad was like. I was, to me, Suicide Squad. I keep saying the original, but I guess it is. Um, was more boring and was just so bad.
Yeah.
So I will be skipping that one.
I mean, just watch a trailer and
Yeah,
just
yeah,
imagine the movie it could have been.
yeah,
The trailer
yeah,
was like the most fun looking trailer ever. I was like, this
yeah,
is awesome. This will be a fun ride. And apparently that they saved all the fun for the trailer,
yeah.
and then everything was like, huh. Again, that's like me leaving the movie theater going like, huh. Well, that was certainly a way to go.
Yeah, yeah, it was weird. Just and not in a good way. Like I just yeah, I can't watch that one again. I
uh,
mean, I well, I don't know. I don't think I'll be able to.
I
But
mean, like, what sucks is like there's some like I like Margot Robbie as Harley
yeah,
Quinn.
yeah,
I actually liked Will Smith as Deadshot. It's just, and I like Viola Davis as um oh my god, I'm forgetting her name.
hmm
Waller. Um,
yeah, yeah,
it's just the story. I'll refer back to like that video with Jenny, what's her face,
hmm
talking about making of Suicide Squad story.
yeah, yeah,
That is pretty much my thoughts on that
yeah, yeah.
as
Pretty
well.
much. Yeah.
But yeah.
Um. Eddie says, super excited for Shin Ultraman. I don't know anything about because well, I mean, I know the super basics. Like I had to Google it just to remind myself what it was.
Right.
Um, sure.
Yeah, I'm not.
um, yeah,
Again, I'm also like I know what it is. I just don't know what it is.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah. I know what it is, but I don't know what it is.
Yeah. Like I've seen it. I know. Like if I see it, I'm like, oh, I know what that is.
Yeah,
Meaning, just I know that it exists,
I I
but I don't
know
know anything
that's a
about it.
thing. I know that's a thing that
Yeah.
exists, but that's as far as it goes.
It's like I know that Cardi B exists, but I don't really know
Yeah,
her stuff.
I know the name and kind of the face.
Yes.
That's as far and what she does.
Yes.
That's it. That's
So,
as far as it goes.
yep.
Not familiar with any, not even a, a measure's worth of her music. At least
Yeah.
not to my knowledge. So I know her through memes that I've seen. That's it. That's as far as it goes, along with essentially almost every other modern pop star. Like I know the memes. I don't know the music and all of that shit. Um so I guess what I will do, maybe starting next week, I'll figure out a way to maybe do like a watch along of me sitting
Oh,
here
oh
watching
man.
Justice League. Maybe I'll do
You gotta
like
do it
half of it.
chunks.
I'll do like half of
Well,
it. Oh, you
I
think it
mean,
should be
like
even shorter than
they
that or
do. He's added like parts. Because you remember how like when they first announced it, they were like the original plan was like it's gonna be like in 4 parts or something, almost like it's a mini series.
yeah.
he does split it into like 7 or 8 parts. Like they actually have chapter titles,
Hmm.
like part one, something something, and it's a line from that. It's one of the lines from the whatever
Well,
section
we're gonna
scene.
see. Yeah.
Um, I know there's a part 6. I want to say there's a part 7, and then the epilogue. Um, so maybe you do it in chunks because I don't know if you
Well,
want to.
I
Well,
want to do. I want to do both. I want to do Whedon's Justice League,
oh man.
and then I'll do Aquaman.
Okay.
And then I'll do. Well, because I'm not rewatching Wonder Woman 84 either, because I just watched it. And
Yeah.
then I'll do um, Zack Snyder's Justice League. I think that's what I'll do. I'm
Yeah.
gonna
Let
take
me.
out the stuff I don't have. Like I remember enough
Yeah.
of Suicide Squad to feel like I don't need to see it
I
again.
mean, I'm not even sure if it's in. That's the thing about the DCEU. I'm not quite sure which if they're actually all in the same universe. I know
Yeah,
the Batman, the one that's coming out, is
isn't.
not.
Hmm.
The fact that Jared Leto is in the Snyder cut is still unclear if that's still in the same universe or like multiverse or like just we like Jared Leto, we're gonna put him in as the Joker
Hmm.
in the Snyder cut. Um,
I am
so
wondering something. But go ahead, finish what you're saying.
I mean, because we just don't know. I mean, like we know Batman was in the first Suicide Squad,
Yeah,
but we don't know if that was Batfleck.
I remember it being that. I remember it was actually him.
Was it?
Yes, it was actually him. It was Batfleck. Batmobile shows up and everything.
So if it is, then
Batmobile with miniguns shows up. He doesn't use them, but
yeah.
yeah.
Well, I mean, like to be fair, Burton's Batmobile had miniguns as well.
Well, yeah, like just like that's other issues with also with Joker being Jack Napier. Joker was the one. Sorry, Jack Napier was the one that killed his parents.
Yeah.
Which I saw behind the scenes on that like a little while ago because I remember like all last year, all these like studios started just like uploading a bunch of extras onto their YouTube channel. One of them was like behind the scenes and like interviews and stuff with like old movies, and they did like Batman. And there was a thing where where the screenwriter was like, "Yeah, that whole Joker thing being the killer of Bruce's parents, I didn't want that in there. That was Tim Burton's idea." And I was like, "Why are you doing? That's weird." But Tim called a shot, so we just put it in there. So, like,
Yeah. Oh my God. Speaking of Tim Burton, did you
mhm.
watch the movies that made us on Netflix, where
um,
an episode on the Nightmare Before Christmas?
no, all I saw, I did the other series, the toys that made us. I didn't get
Yeah.
to the movies yet. I keep forgetting that exists until you tell me
It's
about
actually
it.
like if you liked the way they did the toys that made us,
Oh
it's
yeah,
the
it was
same
great.
thing. But they did like during the holidays, they did like Elf and Nightmare Before Christmas. Um, and man, like I keep forgetting that it's not really Tim Burton that
It's not
did.
it's not a Tim Burton film.
It's like, but it's called Tim Burton's Nightmare Before Christmas. Like he
Hmm.
was involved as much as like I don't know, like he like I guess the concept, but he wasn't really there for a lot of
Hmm.
it.
Yeah.
And the only story that I remember from that about Tim Burton was like he was pissed at something. He kicked the wall, and there was like a shoe shaped hole in the wall of the studio for the longest time. And I think they framed it or something.
I do need to watch it because I love the behind the scenes stuff.
Yeah, like that. Another good one to watch is the story of the Nicolas Cage Superman.
I did watch that,
Did you
and
watch that?
it was great. Yeah.
Like I'm almost like I I know at the time if that came out, I would have hated it. I would have
Yeah. Like,
hated
what
it.
the
But
hell
like
is this?
yeah, like an iridescent looking Superman suit and like polar bears and whatever. But after watching that, I'm like, that would have been the most trippy ass
Yeah.
Superman and I'm curious in that kind of like, what kind of a train wreck would that have been?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
Yeah, just I still think about when Kevin Smith talked, when he talked about it, just the like, don't want to see him in this suit. Looks too faggy.
Yeah. What I liked about that documentary is like the guy John Peters corroborated his story.
Yeah.
Like, yeah,
You're like, all right. You thought he
I was
would
like,
like
oh
kind of
man,
deny it.
yeah,
You're like,
right.
yeah,
He's
yeah.
wholeheartedly like, yep, I said that.
You're like, yeah, whatever. He was
And then
like, yeah, I
Roslyn
get,
polar bears.
yeah.
They're the fiercest animal and the
In
fiercest
in
killers
the
in the Animal
animal,
Kingdom.
and then the giant spider thing. Oh,
Oh
it
my
was
god,
too
dude.
great. It was way too great. Yeah, I mean,
Uh,
so okay, so I just thought of something. Well, it's a question. I don't
yes.
know if this has been answered.
Okay.
The Batman, the one that hasn't come, the Robert Pattinson Batman,
Yes.
is that, to our knowledge, part of the part of Joker universe, as in Todd Phillips Joker?
I don't think so.
Hmm. Because from what I recall, because I saw the Joker, or I saw Joker twice,
Yeah.
and but then seeing the trailer for uh, the Batman,
The Batman.
I'm like, maybe it might be that, but I mean, we're talking years, because that was one of my. I'm assuming you didn't see it yet, right?
No, I have not.
Wow, it must. It's just, if anything, that shows how you truly feel about, especially these characters, especially Joker, and especially Gotham. Everything that I've told you about what Joker was like, how
Yeah.
how how you're willing to subject yourself to a Zack Snyder cut of of the Justice League,
Hmm.
but not Joker, because I am, as I've said, I am curious
What I think.
what you would think, because
I mean, maybe I will at this point. I think it's been so far. I think when it came out, there was this big hype that this is the greatest movie ever, and
it's
everything
not.
I've heard about it, I'm just like, it really just sounds like they wanted to make a movie, sort of like Taxi Driver,
Hmm.
but they wanted to make money, so they just called it the Joker. So you'd
Yeah.
be able to get all the people who are just like, who are fans of the DCEU, because
Mm.
if you're a big fan of the DCEU, then you don't have a particular tie
Hmm.
to the actual characters from the comics.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'm
Yeah.
like, sure, but I'm like, I have a deep love for Batman,
Hmm.
especially, uh, and like I liked the the 67 or whatever Batman,
Yeah. I remember
what it
seeing it.
was.
Hmm.
I liked Burton's Batman when it
Hmm.
came out, because when I was a kid.
I was crazy about it.
I like Nolan's Batman. There's like
Yeah.
there's those are all different interpretations of Batman,
Hmm.
and Gotham City and the Joker and the Rogues Gallery, and of course the animated series. Yeah, it's when you can change enough where it's your version of Batman,
Hmm.
but keep the fundamentals of what Batman is.
Yeah.
That, and then how Gotham is and what the Joker is,
Hmm.
and like I said, it just felt like none of that influenced the Joker movie.
Mm, no.
Right,
I would, yeah, I would say, because I know I've said this before. I mean, I did like it.
right.
It was well directed, despite the fact that he said he said really stupid shit in interviews. And like, because I know that was the biggest turnoff for you, and that made that
That's
also
another thing.
Yeah, and that also
Yes.
made me kind of not want to see it. The only reason I saw it really was for Joaquin Phoenix because he's incredible. Um, I was like, yeah, I'll see it. You know, of course. That's literally the only reason I drove my. Because after like, I'm like, what? This, huh? What?
Yeah.
That's a dumb. Wait a minute. Like that's so dumb. Like I'm like, dude, why did you? Because I'm sure if he didn't say that shit, you probably would have watched it.
Yeah. It was that moment, like he said all that shit. I'm like, nope, not gonna watch it.
Yeah.
And then everything you said, and like I think LJ has told me a little bit also. So I'm like, even though he's wants me to see it, so I can
Yeah.
whatever. Like maybe I think now it's been a while, a long while.
It's yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's on HBO
it's
Max.
it's I think
It's
it's
got to be right
everything. And if you can't
somewhere.
get it anywhere, I'll just give it to you because I have it. Like I was more
So
like after like after I saw he said that shit,
mhm.
I was like, I'm not giving him my money. I'm just gonna pirate it.
I'm
So that's
already.
what's
It was on HBO Max
yeah,
already,
yeah,
so it's
yeah,
already there.
yeah. So
Yeah, I
um
need to watch that, and I do need to watch Birds of Prey,
yeah,
just
I
to
haven't seen that yet.
because again, I really like Margot Robbie
Hmm.
as Harley Quinn.
Yeah.
It's just then you also like again, I have such a reverence for the Batman
Hmm.
characters,
Yeah.
and when I see some of the my favorite characters depicted the way they are, where it's not this is not even like anything close to what
Yeah.
they are, then I'm
Yeah.
just like, you just took the name and made your own characters up, you know.
And
And that's what
just
I'm just like, just make your own shit.
yeah,
Make
it's like their versions of those characters are if it was someone that only knew of those characters through like cosplayers and 30-second clips on YouTube and just rough distant pop culture references, but that's all you know. Like you don't know the subtleties of them for the
I mean,
most
I
part.
would even take that over what they did to like Cassandra Cain
Yeah, yeah.
and the Huntress and Black
Hmm.
Canary and what I've seen of them.
Yeah.
Because I'm looking at Cassandra Cain.
Hmm.
Cassandra Cain was trained by the League of Assassins.
Hmm.
In what I've seen, and from the description of her in Birds of Prey,
Hmm.
she is like take the concept of her being trained like that
Yeah.
and this whole discipline thing that she has and make it not that at all, like close, like different hemispheres
Yeah.
kind of thing.
Hmm.
That is what I got. It's basically I rehired this Asian girl because Cassandra Cain is Asian, and she's wearing like kid like I don't know, like she came from like middle school, and she's like, I like ponies, and like that's not like literally Cassandra Cain was mute for like the first couple of years of her existence. That's why if you
Hmm.
see Cassandra Cain's early um, Batgirl outfits, and this is a girl who would become Batgirl at some point.
Hmm.
She doesn't have the open mouth because she doesn't talk.
Hmm.
She I can't remember why exactly, but like she just doesn't. But she
Hmm.
definitely has like issues because of her upbringing and whatever.
Yeah.
Um, I don't even recognize the Huntress and Black Canary, so I'm just like, wait, what is going on? It's like, if you wanted these characters, just make up new characters.
Yeah.
I'd be fine with that. If like Harley Quinn is still Harley Quinn, and then she just found like this like group of girls that like they need each other, and then like fuck some shit up. Cool, but like don't Todd Phillips Joker it and just make up something and slap the name on.
Yeah.
that's my whole thing about the DCEU. A lot of it's just we want Batman, but not the like we're gonna be like what's gonna be our take on Batman, and it's not gonna have any of the fundamentals of who Batman is. Same thing with Superman.
Yeah.
And the problem is they are the cornerstone. Like those two and Diana are the trinity that the whole of the DCU should be based around.
Mm-hmm.
And when your foundation or the two parts of the Triforce are weak as hell and not whatever,
Yeah.
then you don't have that down. You know, like what makes people keep saying that Superman's boring. If he's boring, then he wouldn't have lasted 75 plus years.
Yeah, he's not.
We've seen so many different versions of him, and none of them were like boring. Like George Reeves, Christopher Reeves, Dean Cain, the animated version of him. I mean, even the new version of him on Superman and Lois.
Mm-hmm.
They're all different. Even like Smallville, like they're all different, but they're all like Smallville lasted 10 years. Say what you will about that show.
Yeah.
It lasted 10 years. That's 9 more years than Firefly.
Yeah. That's right, huh? Oh,
and I feel like if Lex didn't leave, if Michael Rosen didn't leave, and we're probably at that point, like Tom Welling was like, he was getting just beat. He's doing that show for so long.
Yeah.
That I feel this had to end just so that Tom Welling could have a life.
Yeah.
But like all different versions of him, all interesting. But the fundamental of who Clark is always all there.
Yeah.
The new Superman and Lois show. It's easy to say like, oh, it's another Arrowverse CW show.
Yeah.
Whatever they did with that show, it's working because it doesn't feel like a CW show at all. It doesn't feel like an Arrowverse show. Like I'm hoping I don't know how long the season is, but I'm hoping it's only like 10 episodes. Because I feel like with the Arrowverse shows and that whole network TV schedule of like you must have 20 something episodes per season.
Yeah.
They're like, we need to stretch this out. Here's some shitty stories. And also the budget split between 22 episodes. So like a lot of it looks cheesy. But like if you watch Superman and Lois, and I'm someone who used to watch the Arrowverse but stopped because the heroes never learn the lessons that they've learned in a season. Like every end of the season, Oliver Queen's gonna learn that he needs his friends and family. And then episode 1 of the next season, he's like, it's too dangerous for my friends and family. I'm just alone. And then the same thing with Barry Allen as the Flash. He's just like, at the end, he gets the whole thing is wrapped up because they all work together as Team Flash.
Yeah.
Episode 1 next season. Trouble. I love them so much. I can't put them all in danger. I'm gonna do this by myself. And then the Three's Company trope of like misunderstandings happen because and after like a couple seasons you're just like really
same shit over and over again.
I can't do this.
Yeah.
But like Superman and Lois, it's not, what's cool about it is that one, it's beautiful looking. It's not shot the way they shoot the other shows. And it's almost like I liken it to like if you took Smallville, fast forwarded past the Superman's prime years and Lois Lane's prime years and the whole Clark and Lois thing at Daily Planet, at the height of their careers and superhero-ness, and then came back to Smallville. This is the show that this would be.
Interesting.
Just told now, so with a little bit better, technology and whatever.
Yeah.
But it really feels like the successor to Smallville in a good way. I love Smallville, but I think it went on a little longer than it should have.
Yeah.
right? Um, but like you got the fundamentals of who Clark was growing up,
Mm-hmm.
his relationship with Lois Lane, and then they go off to Metropolis and do their reporter thing, Superman thing, and then now this is them. They have two kids,
Hmm.
and now it's Clark trying to figure out how to be a dad at the same
Interesting.
time as being Superman. like,
Huh. Yeah. That sounds interesting to me.
and like one kid has inherited some of his abilities,
Hmm.
the other kid has not.
Wow.
So
Yeah.
there's that relationship, and they're twins, right? So
Yeah.
they had that relationship, and like nothing's perfect. Um, like I like all the characters so far. There's only been
Mm-hmm.
like I've only seen 3 of the 4 episodes because the new one I haven't seen them this week's yet.
Yeah.
But I'm like, oh, okay. I hope at some point it doesn't become a CW show and it keeps like this
Yeah.
because I find it all interesting so far. And
Hmm.
it's a story you never see with Superman, right?
Yeah.
It's always like we've seen the boyhood stuff, even like in other forms. We've seen Superboy, so we've seen Clark Kent in Smallville. We've seen like a younger Superman in like Superboy,
Yeah.
and then we've seen many versions of him as Superman.
Mm-hmm.
But like this is him trying to be the dad that his dad was,
Hmm.
while also being Superman. While you have very like one kid is very troubled, right?
Mm-hmm.
And one kid kind of has it all together. And I mean, obviously, the interesting way to give someone one of those two powers is to give it to the one that's troubled.
Yeah.
So, spoiler alert.
Yeah. That already sounds way more interesting than
Yeah.
what Chris Terrio contributed.
I
um.
mean, I get it. Chris Terrio wrote Argo, but come on, Argo is based on real events.
Yeah.
So
It was.
he
It
couldn't
was.
go. You couldn't go like, what if I want the hostages to all of a sudden take over a tank?
Yeah.
There's a F plot where they're like some guy across the town where they're being held captive is like, I got a tank.
Yeah.
What if I just park it here conveniently?
Yeah. There's. Did you see Argo?
Yeah.
Okay. So I know I looked this up because I was curious. The end scene where they're pulled over, they're all pulled over by they're all stopped by the customs airport security,
Yeah.
and like the scene where he's showing them the whole story of this fake movie that they were making, and this intent this like long thing where they barely made it through. In real life, that didn't happen. In
Yeah,
real
that
life,
didn't happen.
they're like, yeah, let's go ahead. Like, they didn't do any of that.
I mean,
I get it.
obviously,
Yeah.
right. But it's not like it's not believable that would have happened. You know
Yeah,
what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah, yeah.
It's not like they go and then all of a sudden we have this plot just to plant the seeds of a crossing guard
Yeah.
having a bad day or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah, yeah, pretty much. Yeah, it's
I'm like,
different.
how do you create tension?
Yeah.
I don't
You know,
know. Just
you
have
know
the
it
crossing guard like have like a marital dispute and he's like angry.
yeah, I would yeah, I would I was going to compare his writing to other writers that did great when they had original material to work off of, but then fuck it up at the end. But I think it's a wrong comparison because there is original material for Batman as for everything DC world universe. So essentially like how David and Dan successfully adapted the first 4.5 seasons of Game of Thrones, adapting those first few books. I mean, and it is a different situation because they actually had George R. R. Martin literally working on the show with them. He actually wrote one of the episodes per season of those first 4 seasons.
Yeah.
Um, but it's clear that when they have someone kind of holding their hand and also have access to the books, they do fine. Like I didn't know this, but I forgot which one of the D&Ds did this, but one of them wrote uh uh X-Men Wolverine Origins. I didn't know
Really?
this until recently. One of those two guys wrote it, but that was like their
Hmm.
only credit before Game of Thrones. Their only writing credit before Game of Thrones.
Yeah. I
And
mean,
just
they even admitted that they didn't know what they were doing.
yeah, they even admit they're like, yeah, just so I'm like, all right, fine.
Okay.
Yeah, I saw myself watching a couple of clips from the first four seasons just here and there last night. I was like, oh yeah, I remember this show. I was like, everyone was obsessed over intensely for almost a decade, and then now no one talks about it anymore.
Right.
um, but yeah, it just makes me think them getting Terrio to co-write Rise of Skywalker. I remember when I found that out. The first before the movie came out, the first thing I thought of, you guys could have picked literally anyone else.
Yes.
You could have picked anyone else.
Like, why didn't you go with Lawrence Kasdan again?
Unless
At least,
Kasdan, unless they did call him and Kasdan was like, fuck you, I'm not doing that again, which I don't think he would have. I think like he would have, like, all right, yeah, let's
no,
try
because
to,
he
yeah,
did Solo.
yeah, he did Solo. And I mean, I only saw it once. I saw it twice with you. Once,
Yeah.
when we saw it in theater, and
Yeah.
once, like, at your place. And I liked it. I mean, it's on its own. Like, there's cool stuff in it.
Yeah.
Like, just like,
It's a story that need to be told. Well, I mean, it's hard because if you watch it as part of the overall story, it takes away from Han Solo's arc
yeah,
because you already know he's got a heart of gold.
yeah.
So in that sense, that's why I was like, eh. But as a movie on its own, it's a fun movie.
It's a fun Star Wars movie.
It should it
Yeah,
it, it should have got more love than it did. And I
yeah,
think it does now. I think.
yeah. A lot of people, I noticed, a lot of people have come around to Solo more than the Last Jedi, unfortunately.
Yeah. And like,
Um,
I get it, but people need to. I mean, like we saw this with like WandaVision.
yeah,
Like, stop projecting what you think is going to happen,
yeah.
and if it doesn't happen, that it all of a
Don't
sudden affects
don't
your enjoyment of it.
Yeah, don't lose your shit if it doesn't work out
Yeah.
exactly
Like,
the way you wanted
yeah,
it to.
it's fun to theorize. I think
Yeah,
the whole ride of WandaVision, I was just like, what's going to happen? What's happening? And then the ending happened, and it's still the overall story is what is important,
yeah,
not the Easter eggs and not the this must be connected super like totally to like the multiverse and the X-Men and the Fantastic Four and whatever. That's gonna come.
yeah, yeah,
This is the story of the Scarlet Witch and grief,
yes.
and it was a beautiful story for those two characters.
Mm-hmm.
Which
It was closure.
to circle back to Game of Thrones, Matt Shakman directed 2 episodes of Game of Thrones.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's what he did before this.
Really?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
And also Max Shackman is like a super like he was in a lot of 80s sitcoms, so he came from this world
Oh, so it was a perfect
of
fit.
sitcoms.
Huh.
Yeah, and he directed all of them. Which, yeah, because he was on Kevin Smith's podcast, right? During that after the finale, and he even said like there is a filmed unfilmed alternate not alternate ending but like plot point where fake Pietro, the 2 kids, and Monica try to steal a Darkhold, the book
Yeah.
from the dungeon, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they run into Senior Scratchy, the rabbit. And the rabbit turns into a demon,
What?
and they have their own little thing
Yeah.
battle with the rabbit.
Interesting.
I'm like, I
Huh.
want to see that. But like
Yeah.
they said, ultimately they're like, but it took away from the main. Like it was like this. He called it like it was like a Goonies moment.
I mean, yeah, that would have been cool, but it also shows restraint and like, okay, no, let's just yeah, it's great, but let's focus on the main story that we've been telling so far. Because yeah, that would have been great, but like, no, let's just do this. Like that just to it more because I didn't know that. That just shows the difference, the huge difference between like I still I think I told you that I did rewatch The Rise of Skywalker kind of recently. Did I? Did I tell
No,
you this?
no.
So, like I said earlier, how I'll go over and sometimes I'll go over to Nicole or her parents and we'll have dinner. We'll watch something.
Hmm.
We watched the sequel trilogy. Um, we watched The Force Awakens. We watched The Force Awakens in Big Bear actually,
Nice.
and then we watched The Last Jedi. And I was really curious about that one because
Had they never seen it?
they saw it once and they remembered none of it.
Okay.
So it was like I wanted to see their reaction, and I was just like after that I told Nicole I was like we don't need to watch Rise of Skywalker, just you can tell your parents it's completely optional. but they wanted to see what happened. Um, and at the end, out of all when we watched all three, I asked her parents which one do you think was the best one, and they both said the second one. They both said the Last Jedi. So I felt validated a little bit. Um, so yeah, I was curious to see what they'd say. They're like I think the only kind of complaint I remember them saying about the Last Jedi was the was the the well they said the casino planet. They're like, oh, they felt like that was a little long, but it was great. It was fine. But they weren't like, they weren't they weren't super
Like,
offended. But
ah!
yeah, they're like, yeah, it was a little long, but no, it's still good. Like like that was it.
I still
Like
don't understand the hate for that scene. Like, if you don't get why they showed it, like I don't know what to tell you.
yeah,
But like the whole thing where they're like, it did nothing. I'm like, it did what it
it,
needed to do, which
yeah,
was show you a little bit more about the universe and how
yeah.
war is not. It's like the more like what the
War's not
sequel
as
trilogy
black. War's
did
not
was,
black and white.
yeah, it showed you that there's many facets to all this stuff.
Yeah,
It's not the original trilogy, which was just straight up what it was. Like
yeah.
the prequels were very much like politics and whatever of the
It was yeah,
universe.
it was essentially a light commentary on
Yeah,
what was going on then with 9/11 and Bush and everything. It was that. It was his response, kind of weird response to that, to like modern day, well, at the time, modern politics.
yeah. And
Uh,
then the sequel trilogy hits on a lot of like opposing sides, but there's still a lot of similarities between the sides, and like
yeah,
it really is like almost just like one little thing that'll switch you from the light side to the good side, or
yeah,
left to the dark side, or whatever.
hmm
That's why there was so much comparison of Rey and Kylo Ren, of almost being like, oh, let's say love interest, but like, if take that aside, but like almost joining forces at some point, and they did join forces
yeah,
until just one different difference of opinion
hmm
brings them apart again.
yeah,
Um, and I was like, that didn't prove anything, like because they didn't complete their mission, like that. Yeah,
yeah. They failed.
like the Empire was a whole story about how
The whole
the
movie was
the
like,
rebels lost out everything. They
yeah,
lost the Battle of Hoth.
yeah,
They lost Han.
yeah. They get split
Luke got
up.
his
Just
hand cut off.
yeah,
Like nothing worked. He like Yoda was even, that's why you failed. Like there's so much failure in
yeah.
Empire. I'm like, did we not watch? Is this
Did we
not the movie
forget?
everyone like loves? The movie
Yeah,
that the good side, like it ends sure with like them looking outside a window and being like, "There's hope."
just
With
it's
how the last
a
Jedi
tiny.
ends,
There's a twinge of it. There's a twinge of hope.
but
Like the score is even mostly somber, but at the
Yes.
very end of them all looking out is like, oh, maybe we'll see. Like, just
Yeah, did we forget that none of their plans worked?
yeah,
First of all, they lost the battle. Well, one, like, Wampa.
yeah,
Two, Battle of Hoth lost.
yeah,
Three, they tried to get Princess Leia out with everyone else, but that failed
yeah,
because of stuff. They tried to hide from the Empire, ended up in a slug.
yeah. Then end up almost getting digested.
Tried to hide out, got tracked by Boba Fett.
Hmm. Got
Tried to trust,
betrayed. Got
got
betrayed.
betrayed by
Yeah,
Orlando.
just I
Luke didn't listen to his teachers. So
yeah,
I'm like, we find out that Obi-Wan lied to Luke. So
yeah. We find out that both. Well, I mean, they
was that,
you
no,
know
that was Jedi. He learns that they lied.
yeah,
Well,
yeah. Just like
he
in
kind of
general.
does when he learns that Darth Vader is his father.
Yeah,
Spoilers.
yeah, yeah. They're just like, no, he was this guy that just killed your dad. And you're like, holy
Which
shit, what? He's actually my dad. Like it ends with, like one of the like the last thing Luke says is, Ben, why didn't you tell me? Like he's just trying to
yeah,
block out,
like
his
say
father's
what you will
voice.
about like people who make like hate the Fourth Awakens because it's too much like Star Wars: A New Hope. I mean, like, if anything, you want to blame Last Jedi for is that it tried to be like Empire.
Yeah,
Like literally, the whole like raise nothing scene.
yeah,
Like if you listen to Ryan Johnson talk about it, like what's the worst thing that can happen to Rey? Like she believes like she's this like special person, whatever. And it's
hmm
like, nope, you're nothing. What is
no,
the worst thing that happened to Luke? You've been brought up to think that your father's a hero, a
yeah.
Jedi Knight. Then you learn, nope, he's Darth Vader.
He's Darth
he's
Vader. He
he's a
is
right hand
literally
man of the Emperor.
he is the right hand man of essentially, you know, space Hitler.
Yes,
So
right. I'm like,
just like
I'm like, we can play the game of like fan fiction where we want everything to be nice and tidy, and then you
yeah.
would have a boring sequel trilogy of just set pieces where you have to have weird plots like Palpatine's back for no
If
apparent
it
reason.
if it if it would the biggest issue is if it was hinted in any way in the
Yes.
Force Awakens, it would have been fine.
You know what would have been awesome? If they found Rey and like part of her clothing was a clasp that looked like Palpatine's
Oh
clasp. So all you
yeah.
had to do.
Yeah, and maybe if it was like kind of spray painted a different color,
Yeah.
like is that
Right?
why is
It's
that
like
what I think it
it's
is?
like the clasp on the strap of her
Yeah,
staff. Right?
yeah, yeah.
And then people pick it up and you're like, oh
Is
my
that
god,
the Emperor's?
is that
Yeah,
the Emperor's? And then you're like, oh, like that would have changed the trajectory of everything we thought about Rey from the beginning. Be like, oh my
yeah,
god. It's kind of like WandaVision. Like, oh my god, it's Mephisto.
yeah,
Like, oh my god, see that rock? It's Mephisto.
yeah.
Right? And then we got Rise of Skywalker, and we're like, surprise ish.
Yeah, I
Palpatine's
remember
back.
he's back and like first he says, Kylo says, I killed Snoke. And he's like, I made Snoke. And you're like, oh, like he found this kind of like force sensitive user,
Yep.
trained him kind of on the side because because Snoke isn't technically a Sith, he's just a dark force user. But and then you see him like in a vial. He's like two more of them. Like, oh, you
Oh, you
literally made him.
literally made him.
Like, all right.
Okay.
Like, and it's so funny to me. Snoke was so much more interesting when we didn't know anything
Yes.
about him.
And
Like
the Emperor being back was more interesting when we didn't know that's what happened.
yeah, like just
Because, I mean, like, there is in the comics a precedent to Emperor Palpatine living on, right?
yeah,
In Dark Empire, he's there. And it's because when you see him fall down the shaft and that blue light and whatever, it's his energy going into another host body
hmm.
or finding it somewhere, kind of like
Yeah,
the Lantern Ring. If you
yeah,
die,
yeah.
it'll zip
It'll
off and
just
find somebody.
transfer. Yeah.
And that's how he lived in On.
Hmm.
Um, he would create clones of himself as vessels
to transfer
So
to.
that would have made sense if that
Yeah.
was what it was.
Yeah.
Like Snoke was we find out that Snoke was the embodiment. But again, we have nothing to point to that whatsoever.
No, it's just he literally
Yeah.
made him like out of clay
Like
or
it was
some shit.
never about Snoke. It was about Kylo Ren.
It's
And the whole,
Kylo Ren. Like the whole point of that is just like, yeah, Snoke's great, like intimidating, creep. I mean, he's and I feel like even Ryan Johnson knew is like yeah, Snoke isn't the main villain. It's Kylo Ren. And we are not going to be able to outdo the Emperor. So why keep him around?
yeah. Like
Like
you don't want to make another Emperor. It's like no,
yeah,
Kylo. It's a rise of Kylo Ren
yes,
from, and that would be like it can still be the Skywalker saga.
mm-hmm.
It's just you have this bloodline that is flawed
yeah,
and whatnot. Like, and you can still deal with like, um, the whole Luke thing,
yeah,
but whatever. But yeah, it was never like Kylo is not Vader. He is not the Emperor, or Snoke is not the Emperor. Like it's again, it's not a retelling of the original trilogy or the sequel or the prequels. It's like its own thing where now it's like this is definitely a character study into the fall of in a legendary bloodline,
mm-hmm.
right? And who knows what they could have done with it at the end.
Mm-hmm.
The problem with this trilogy was that we were not allowed to have a time jump between Force Awakens and The Last Jedi.
Yeah.
It was literally Last Jedi had to be Force Awakens Part 2.
Yeah.
There was no time whatsoever. So there's no development of like when we go to Hoth, we can tell time has passed.
Yeah.
Even if we didn't know that this didn't take place a day after or whatever, some of the dialogue is
you
just
can
like
just feel that okay,
they've been together for a while,
maybe roughly a year.
Yeah,
because they're like, holy shit, we just did this big thing. We need a super hide now.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ryan Johnson had a lot to, he
didn't have a lot to work with.
He didn't have
go
a
like,
lot.
What happens
right.
in the next minute? Here you go.
Like I never. I mean, yes, when I first saw it, as I mentioned, when I first saw it in theaters when it came out, I didn't not like it, but I also didn't like it. I remember leaving the theater like,
yeah. What did I just watch?
I just watched a movie, I think. Like, but then like when it came out on Blu-ray, I remember I told you, I was like that week, like, yeah, so what are you up to? I'm like, I'm watching The Last Jedi just over and over. I watched it. I'm pretty sure I watched it like 5 times within like a week and a half, and every time I liked it more and more. Yeah, I still have issues with it. There's still things that bug me.
I still feel that he definitely wasted Hux.
Yes.
And
completely different character.
Even worse in Rise of Skywalker. So
yeah.
Like that's not even like the worst that happened to him. Like,
no, it gets worse.
But yeah, worse in the Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah. So that some dialogue choices rub me the wrong way. It's kind of like some dialogue choices are like for me like prequel episode 2 bad. But again, they don't ruin the things that are important in the movie. Like almost everyone's biggest complaint is not just the best part of the trilogy, but I would say one of the best parts of all Star Wars movies so far. Just Luke's arc and where Luke is so fucking powerful to me. Like because I never I mean I get it from like a narrow-minded point of view. Like they ruined Luke. He wasn't a badass. He wasn't just taking everybody out. He wasn't super optimistic. Super optimistic. Did you forget the fucking character of Luke? He loses his shit by simply saying, "Oh, we're wasting our time." Like like Yoda says it himself in what is not only known to be, at least up until now, because there are people that exist now that think the prequels are better than anything else, but in general, the best Star Wars film ever made, but also one of the best movies ever made. Like Yoda literally says, "I can't train him. He has too much anger, so much anger in him, just like his father." And you see it, like
Yeah.
all the issues we have with the prequels. You see Anakin in there. You see that boiled up anger that Luke has been hiding in.
Yeah.
So of course, when he gets older and he gets, considering, I know we've both said these same things countless times,
Yep.
but they're so important. Old man Luke in The Last Jedi makes me love him more
Yes.
than everything we saw him do. Even everything before Disney bought Star Wars and we had versions of him as that kind of character in like the games and the comics and even the books. It's still because he comes back around. Like he just the whole thing is, you
Yeah.
really think demons get conquered permanently? No, they'll come
No.
back.
Um, and he comes around in the best way possible, and it's like coming from another Jedi who was also flawed in his thinking,
Yeah.
Yoda.
Yeah.
Like if you really look at Yoda's trajectory from what we know, like he was part of the problem of the Jedi.
Yeah.
They just became too complacent and full of themselves that he was blinded.
Yeah.
Um, you know, and in Empire, like, do we forget that it's Obi-Wan and Yoda that tell Luke to kill Darth Vader
And not tell him who he really is.
and not tell him who he is? They manipulated him
Yeah.
into thinking that this guy is the evil in the world.
Yeah.
Um, and then, not to mention that they both went into hiding.
Yeah.
So his two teachers
Yeah. His two
exiled
teachers
themselves.
exiled themselves
So
when
I
they
wonder
fail.
where they got that idea.
Yeah, when they fail one time, they fail once,
One
and that's
time.
it. Well, no, we're done. Like,
Yeah. And Yoda had to learn a lot of lessons in also that time period of like, okay, like I think he finally gets it in the Last Jedi,
yeah,
and teaches Luke that
yeah,
it's fine. Like you will lose people, everything, but you just learn from it and carry on and whatever.
yeah. That line. I mean, I would get made fun of for this, but I teared up watching it again. Like, just what he says to Luke. Failure. The greatest teacher of failure is.
Yep.
And I'm like, if that's not fucking Yoda, I don't know what is. What's the fucking
Because
problem?
that's not just a lesson to Luke; it's what Yoda learned
Yes.
in the Force afterlife.
Yeah,
he
he didn't learn
he didn't
learn the biggest lesson ever until after he died.
Yeah. So it is the most Star Wars.
Yeah.
And The Last Jedi left the world and universe open to a lot of things.
Yeah.
And then we got the opening call, The Rise of Skywalker.
I still remember, like, after we saw it, and I just remember, like, I can't wait to see what Jenny Nicholson has to say about this. And I just remember saying,
Broker.
yeah, just the title of the video is really all you need. It was like, oh no, The Rise of Skywalker was real bad. And just like, I mean, I haven't watched any of her videos as of late, so I
She
think that
hasn't
was
really put anything out.
yeah, I know she's
Like,
probably
she's
just like
been-
she just rants on Twitter now, I guess. I mean, I haven't been using Twitter or Instagram for like a while, like I think almost 2 months now. But I know you unfollowed her, like, or at least muted her or something a while ago. 'Cause she was kind of, and yeah, she has her annoying side for
She's
sure.
getting into, I forget what, like the whole Raylo thing. I'm just like, all right. I can't with this. I can't deal with the Raylos right now.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. I mean, I considered myself one between Last Jedi and in at least not to that degree, but I got it. you know,
People were angry at
yeah,
the Rise of Skywalker.
yeah,
Like, if you want to be angry about the Rise of Skywalker, that's not the part to be angry about.
yeah. There's plenty more to be, and you know how much I love the Emperor, and yeah, it was
Like,
great. It was great to see Ian just
yeah.
ham it up as always, but I'm like, why is he here, guys? Like,
Like, I'd rather him not be here
yeah,
and keep my how I know how he ended his story.
yeah,
Like, that's an awesome ending.
yeah.
We
So
don't need
I
to
just
see we don't need to see this.
yeah, after we watched it, like I like stood up to before just going to the bathroom. Like I told like Nicole and her parents, I was like, so you can ignore everything we just saw if you want to, because I have. So like they started laughing, like they're like, what? I was like, yeah, I have. Like they're like, yeah, that was weird, and I told them what you and I discussed after, like shortly after it came out. We're like,
Yeah.
yeah, as far as we're concerned, uh, the it's not a trilogy, it's just the first two, and there's no ending to, at least not anytime soon, to that war. It just keeps going, and we are part of that experience in Galaxy's Edge, because like everything Galaxy's Edge takes place essentially
At that time period, right?
at that
So,
time
like,
period.
that's
I'm
it.
like, yeah, we're just
We're
seeing, we're
left
part
with
of it.
the hope that that kid with the broom is becoming one of the new
Yeah.
Jedi, and at some point, Daisy Ridley's gonna come back and just be like, "And here's the new Jedi."
Yeah. Yeah. So just like, I mean, I have heard rumors. You probably heard them too about Galaxy's Edge, that they plan on not retheming it. I guess they kind of will be
We'll see.
like just
Like,
like,
I
oh,
get
like,
why, because
yeah, because Mandalorian's it's relevant
is
still right now,
yeah,
so that it would be post Empire,
and who knows? It might be
essentially.
this. Like, I don't know. Like, I hope that it's not just like the Mandalorian, but it's like this era, like
Yeah,
this Mandalorian era. Because then, if everything's tied to it, like Mandalorian, Book of Boba Fett, Rangers of the New Republic, and Ahsoka, you can still do a lot with that. Because then
oh yeah,
the Rebel area can just be again the New Republic
it could
area,
just be New Republic area,
or you
like
can
yeah, we're
switch it where it's like, the store with
oh
the Empire, that's
yeah,
the New
yeah,
Republic store,
yeah.
and then the outskirts is where the remnants of the Empire
That
are.
would be fucking
Right?
great to see
Boom.
that. Yeah, and just you'd have to rethink, because I know enough. I've seen enough, because I still haven't gone to Rise of the Resistance.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I still haven't. I'll get to, like, we're gonna, like, I talked, because Nicole was only kind of weary about going to Disneyland with Mask, because she had, she'll probably kill me for saying this on here. She has, she gets rosacea, like really, sometimes really bad, and the mask super flares that up sometimes. So it's,
Yeah.
but we talked about it, and she's like, yeah, fuck it, just see if you can get a ticket or two. It'll be hard. Like, I think we both know any of us would be lucky to be able to get one day.
Yeah, like,
when
I
they
am
go on
shooting
sale.
for May the 4th, because I kind
Yeah.
of want to be. I wasn't able to be at Galaxy's Edge, obviously last year for Star Wars Day,
Yeah.
which is what I want. That the original plan was, like, I was going to be there for Star Wars Day.
I think we went the year before in 2019, right? Didn't we go?
But that was before
Yeah.
Galaxy's Edge opened.
That was before
So,
it was just, it was
but
different.
I've been there. I have been there every single, well, not every single, but for like the past couple of years.
Yeah.
I have been there.
Yeah.
So it wasn't 2019. It was 2018 we were there.
Mm-hmm.
Because 2019 I just went because I bought like a pin and stuff.
Oh.
But it was the one where we went into the Wampa.
Yeah. Oh, that was 20. Oh, yeah, that was
like
2018. See, that just shows like how everything is the time, like how 2020 threw everything off.
Yeah.
Like, I could have sworn that was 2019.
No. Yeah. It was like March 2020. It's just gone, like, it's just screwed everything up. Like, now we're in March 2021.
Yeah.
Like day 2
Yeah.
of the Corona apocalypse. I remember, like, I'm now seeing, it was sad. Now I'm seeing, like, on Facebook, my post from a year ago,
Yeah.
and then we're at the beginning of like the thing.
Hmm.
I'm just like, I posted today. Like last year, I posted around this time. Like, well, looks like all those people that are like people who are in the food industry and
Hmm.
grocery stores and clerks shouldn't be paid a living wage because they should just get another job. And then I was like, funny how now they're the essential employees because people who keep saying that can't get along without
Yeah.
going to the grocery store and buying
Yeah.
food at the restaurant. Are we going to be? Then I said, are their minds going to change now that these people are essentials?
Yeah.
And then I posted today. I'm like, nope, that did not happen.
No,
So they're like,
didn't have.
no,
Nothing's
f them.
changed.
No
Yeah.
one needs a living wage. They should get a better job. I'm like,
Yeah.
Jesus.
That's the same mentality of stop being poor.
Yeah, but I forgot that was back then we used to call it the Corona apocalypse.
Yeah.
Now it's just like now it's just 20. It became well 2020. Am I right?
Oh my
Like
god.
F this year.
Yeah,
Now it's like we're in
seriously.
2021 going like, well, at least we got Marvel shows.
Yeah,
Look forward to,
seriously.
and I guess Disneyland opening. That's why I'm
Yeah.
glad I'm getting the vaccine this
As
week, and
yeah,
then
yeah.
so by the time I get to go, even before I think when we go,
To
I don't even know if
the
I'll
food thing.
by
Yeah.
April 19th if I'll get it by then.
Huh.
So we'll see. But definitely before I step foot in Disneyland,
Yeah, yeah.
as the park opens and whatever.
Yeah, definitely.
I just
All right.
hope that they don't go the. I feel like California's different, but like Florida just seems like they've relaxed a little too much. Like I was watching like videos from it. I'm like, there's a lot of people there.
Yeah, it
Right?
was yeah, I think
I'm
they
like,
raised the cap. Over here it's going to be 15, but over there I think it's like 30
it's
or
like 30,
35.
and I'm just like
It's
watching it, going like, that's still a lot of people.
yeah. Yeah, at least well here, I'm going to go pee real quick and I'll come back
Yeah.
cuz I do have a lot to say about everything cuz I learned more stuff about Disneyland and like even the rides that are going to be open and things like
Oh yeah.
that. Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
All right, so let me pee real quick. I'll be right back. Go in FK for like a minute. Okay. That was quick. I just
Yay.
had to pee. Uh all right, so you have something to say that you're going to say right now?
I just saw a tweet that that said that Zack Snyder dissed is dissing the fandom menace.
What? Wait, what?
I don't know the context, but like he's like Zack Snyder disses the fandom menace. I'm like, huh, interesting.
I'm just looking this up right now. Oh, Zack Snyder disses the fandom. Oh, it's like three. It's I think it's from what's this? Anti.
Like, what is spurring that one? Like,
Who knows?
but yeah, I thought it was funny to see
I wonder. I'll do some more. I'm curious as to what he has to say.
about the fandom menace.
Yeah.
I'm like, I too do not like the fandom menace.
Yes, I am. I am not a fan of the fandom menace.
Yeah.
Uh. Okay, so
Disneyland.
Disneyland reopening finally, and
Mm-hmm.
under post-apocalyptic mass conditions, at least for for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Um. So you're gonna try to get tickets for May the 4th for Star Wars Day.
Yes.
Um, I am debating on trying to go for May 3rd. Well, May
Mm-hmm.
3rd is the priority because that's actually Nicole's birthday.
Mm.
Or as far as like tickets like just for she and I to go,
Mm.
or my birthday May 19th, because what convinced her to deal with how the mask affects her skin
Yeah.
was the fact that we are essentially going to be getting a weird alternate dimension version of the crowds, like the amount as far as volume from the mid 90s during a work week, because it's only 15% capacity. And I remember
Mm.
those days vividly. I remember what the crowds were like, how it was just, there were like no kids. It was maybe
Yeah.
teenagers and adults with the occasional kid. And literally every single ride was no longer than 10 minutes, even the big ones.
I would even say later than that because when I first moved here,
Yeah.
um, I went with my sister during a weekday, and
Hmm.
we were just like, "There's no one here."
Yeah,
It's
it
weird.
didn't start like those crowds, those crazy crowds didn't start until I would say late 2000s.
I feel like
So
it's when
like
they implemented monthly payments
yeah,
for
when they
passes.
implemented monthly payments, like, oh, now everyone can get a pass, because before you had to pay the full price.
Yeah, I just
Or
had the Southern California pass for,
yeah,
and back then it was
it was way
it's like
cheaper.
200
It
bucks
was
or
like
something
like the
right?
most expensive one at the time, I think was three or
Like
four hundred.
300-400 bucks. Yeah,
Yeah. Like what is the the not the premiere, obviously, the signature select plus or whatever it's called, the one with zero blackout dates.
yeah.
Well,
That
not anymore, but that was like almost, it was like 400-ish bucks because I had one.
mm,
um so, and now, well, at least, but when they existed they were what, 14, something like that, or
something like that.
13.
Yeah,
But yeah, once everyone, because I also remember in the 90s, you got made fun of for going to Disneyland. Like if you, even in school, like for me, like, which at the time would have been junior high, even a little, like, the
yeah.
end of, of even before junior high, like if you said you were going to Disneyland, no one was really jealous. You like, you're just like, what are you, a little kid? Like, you got made fun of. Like, it wasn't something you shared.
Yeah.
At least for, locals in Orange, in Orange County. And even LA County, you're kind of made fun of. It didn't start becoming quote unquote cool until like the mid 2000s. And then
Yeah, like what?
once,
Like why? Like
I don't
why did
know.
that? Like I understand like why there's more crowd because of like monthly payments, but if that was like the notion,
Hmm.
like I wonder what flipped that made it cool to go to. I mean, like there's still people who like like look down upon adults going to Disneyland. I'm like, whatever, I
Yeah.
don't care. Like, fine,
We
you be an adult.
we even have a name. They call us Disney adults.
Yeah, yeah. I'm like, okay.
I'm like, all right, just like,
It's
but it,
creepy.
yeah,
Like I'm not watching kids.
yeah. I mean,
Like, all right. I mean,
yeah,
you can go to your bar or whatever
yeah,
you do as an adult.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Go get drunk and drive. That's cool. I'm just
yeah.
gonna go to Disneyland and
We're
I
gonna
don't
go
know.
to Disneyland where we can still get drunk, by the way, but in a cooler,
Sure.
more
But like,
fun setting. Like,
right, let me go hang out by the Millennium Falcon.
yeah,
So,
yeah, yeah. We'll go to Millennium Falcon. We'll be yeah. So yeah, so we will, as in essence, be getting those a version of those low crowds. I mean, it's going to be weird because of the social distancing, the lines are going to look super long, but they're not.
yeah.
Like some of like the vloggers I've been following for years that have gone to Disney World, they see how far the line goes and they see how long the line is. Like it only says the line's 5 minutes, but it looks like it's like a 3 hour line.
Right.
Like so just seeing it in that way, like I found out, so like just off the top of my head, essentially the important rides are going to be open. Like not
Okay.
it's not everything, like Pirates, Haunted Mansion, Smuggler's Run. Don't know how they're going to do Smuggler's Run, but
I mean, you would have to
just per
totally,
party, this a party gets their own.
yeah,
I
and
don't
then
know.
like have like a sanitizer thing after just
Yeah,
to wash your hand, and then I guess I'm assuming like in between a couple rides they'll hose everything down or
yeah,
whatever they do.
yeah. They'll do what they do at the theaters. Just have a
Because
guy with the
if you
hazmat
haven't been
suit.
on it, that is a very touchy ride.
Yes, you were literally controlling
Essentially, you have to touch everything on that
Yeah.
ride.
Um.
So
So yeah, I'm sure. I mean, yeah, Indiana Jones is going to be open. Um.
what's going to be closed? Like what's not going to be open?
Um. Let me see.
Storybrooke.
Story. Storybook when everyone's just crammed into a
Crammed.
tiny boat that feels like it
Maybe
can
not
capsize at any
like the-
moment.
Can teacups be open? I feel like teacups are just flinging around water droplets everywhere.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I have a feeling teacups will be closed. Hopefully they like leave the music on and they leave it kind of running on its own, or at least the music. Because just hearing that music, yeah, it'll be sad. I mean,
Sad.
but I feel like it'd be more sad if it was just turned off in silence.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, when you're sad, you're just like sitting there and you're like, ah,
And just like at least put the lights on and
least
play
put
the
the music on or
Yeah.
something.
Let me see.
Riverboat. I'm gonna assume the riverboat.
Okay, so I found a list, but it's only showing what's going to be open.
Okay.
Okay, I'll list them. Okay, so I'll read them. So at Disneyland, Big Thunder Mountain, New Magic because I remember before this whole shit started last year, they were in the middle of refurbing Haunted Mansion. They were doing something to it. We don't know what, but they were
What are they doing?
All they have said is New Magic. That's all we got. That's still all they've announced.
It's so long. I can't remember.
So, yeah. Indiana Jones, Small World, the Carousel, King Arthur's Carousel.
Interesting on that one.
Yeah, right. Just another
That's
touchy
also very
one.
touchy.
Yeah. I don't know how. Again, hazmat suit, just spraying everything down.
I can also imagine Indiana Jones with like the plexiglass in front.
Yeah.
Like, oh, this is weird because there's a thick piece of plexiglass.
Yeah,
in
it's
front
probably
of me.
gonna be yeah. So I guess maybe for Indiana Jones, they'll just that middle row will be empty. Maybe it'll just be the front and the back.
Oh, maybe.
Maybe. So Smuggler's Run, Peter Pan, Pirates of the Caribbean, Snow White's Enchanted Wish. Remember, it's not Scary Adventure anymore. They changed the ending.
That's right.
And they updated some
updated the
things.
thing.
It's not just an abrupt and then You
and
could
then it's
totally
like,
miss that painting at the end, like
I,
they live. You're like,
what
that's
hap-
an
we
abrupt
killed
scare.
we
Yeah,
killed the evil witch, and
that's it.
happily ever
Yeah,
after. Rainbows and bluebirds.
yeah. So apparently I've seen like clips of like
Like, what's it called? What's it called?
Snow White's Enchanted Wish.
I want to. Did this still have the apple in front that like scares people,
I hope so,
or does the
but
queen pop out still?
I don't know. I'm curious. I'm so curious.
I feel like they can keep the scary adventures and just not have it
Yeah,
abrupt this weirdly.
yeah, but I mean I have a feeling it's gonna be less scary. um, Space
They put
Mountain.
okay.
Oh, and Rise of the Resistance. So no Star Tours.
Oh man,
Yeah, it's gonna be tough because I still have a love for Star Tours.
so do I.
Um, and I don't think I ever saw the third the Rise of Skywalker one where you go to the all the Star Destroyers. I don't think I saw that.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
So that's gone. So Autotopia is not on that list.
No
Is that oh,
Autopia.
is that the full list?
That's the full list at Disneyland. There's only 5 in California Adventure that's going to be open.
Finding Nemo. I'm just going around the park. Like Finding
Yeah,
Nemo.
yeah. No Finding.
Star
Yes.
Tours. Buzz Lightyear is not on there.
Oh, you know what? Also, is not on there. Matterhorn's not on there.
Weird that one.
Yeah.
But, well, I guess because it's I don't know.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know. Like I get Finding Nemo. Like it's like an enclosed space.
Yeah. I mean, some
Like a
people
super
are like,
enclosed space.
some people are like, we're done with. Some people, there's a lot of people apparently, due to their apparent connections inside sources, were no more Nemo even like ever. That's it. Forever.
Ever?
Like it's never coming back. Like because there's been a lot of like again rumors, inside information that it's just costs way too much for them to maintain. So they're just like, we're just gonna get rid of it.
We need to do that area.
Yeah.
Put something there.
Well, the rumor, the big I've heard 2 rumors over the last several years. One was, and they're both kind of related. They're both revolving around Tomorrowland. One was after Galaxy's Edge is done, they are going to completely close Tomorrowland and redo it.
Okay.
The other one was related to that. They're but it didn't specify when. It just said in the future. In the future, they're going to completely close Tomorrowland for like a few years. And they will only be keeping Space Mountain. Everything else is going to be flattened and redone.
The Star Tours.
Yeah. So yeah, and the only thing they've talked about adding was Tron.
I mean,
Yeah. So
I would go for Tronland.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah, that'd be great. And to me, this is part of my conspiracy theory brain. It's just like, oh, they're gonna, yeah, yeah, just like they keep pushing the Tron. I mean, yeah, they keep talking about it. Like
they're making another Tron coaster in the United States. It's
yeah.
You have one overseas, sure, but bringing it to the U.S. brings it into the forefront.
Yeah.
Like, do you think they would have done Pandora if they didn't know that there's going to be Avatar sequels?
Yeah, there's 4 of them, I think, something like that. I forgot how many.
Yeah, right. Because I don't remember much about Avatar, except the fact that they keep re-releasing it and taking over like big box office, like oh, Avatar takes over #1 box office. I'm like, yeah, because you released it 8,000 times.
You keep doing it. Yeah.
You keep doing it. Like Avengers would be like, all right, well, we're gonna do the Infinity War edition of Infinity War, like Infinity War and Endgame. So one big 5-hour movie.
Yeah. Fine with it.
That counts.
Yeah. I was happy when it beat the box office numbers of Avatar. That made me happy. I was like, good. I better a better movie one. So, like, I'm just,
More memorable one.
yeah, way more memorable. I still go back to it. I saw Avatar once, and I had no desire to watch it again.
Like it
Like,
was cool. Avatar was cool when it came out because it was finally someone who took 3D and didn't make it a gimmick. Like it
yeah,
actually immersed yourself in the world, and it was fun.
yeah,
But like the story, like all you have to say is unobtainium, and like that is the mineral you came up with. Like you might as well just call it onanosium, like
yeah,
because it's like really that's you gave us Aliens and
yeah,
Terminator and
hmm
and you made Titanic. Like
yeah.
you couldn't think of something else besides unobtainium. Like that's really, and
Oh
the fact
well,
that like I'm not a fan of who's the main actor. So yeah, I don't even
I
remember.
I don't
So
remember his name.
that
The
guy.
Yeah, yeah.
Everyone else, great. That
I
guy, I'm
mean,
like,
he had otherwise he had a strong cast. He's still one of the best at any action sequence ever. He still is just the main story was just
all right,
like
Fern Gully,
yeah,
Fern Gully in
Fern
space.
Gully. Yeah, just I remember seeing like back when it came out, there was like when the Honest Trailers channel started, like just started, and oh these two characters and together they'll learn military bad, trees
It's
good.
good.
Like yeah, that's the movie. Like so I did even when Disney Plus went up, they just stuck it right there in front. Like, hey guys, you like this movie? You should watch it. Like,
Like I don't know anyone who.
yeah, I don't know
I
anyone.
rewatched Avatar. Like really?
Like, huh? Why? There's the
Why?
Star Wars and Marvels on there. Why would you do that?
There's old stuff. There's gummy bears on there.
Yeah, yeah. You want to rewatch? Yeah, yeah. I just, yeah. It's weird. I
Yeah.
mean, I'll watch them when they come out, but
I
I'm not
mean,
expecting greatness.
it is the most popular, one of the most popular rides in Disney World.
Really?
Flight of Passage. It's a good ride. Like I mean,
Yep.
it's a simulator ride, but
Sorry, I just
uh,
splashed my face with water somehow.
it's a fun ride. Like it does make you feel like you're on a banshee,
Yeah.
flying around and whatever.
Because
You
can't
feel
you
it.
feel it like breathing
You
and
feel it
stuff?
breathe.
Huh.
Yeah. I mean, look, I know what they do, so it's not like you feel like this leathery skin of a dragon bird thing.
Yeah.
I mean, it's still like it's looks like a motorcycle, like, but
Yeah.
they do have like hydraulics that make it breathe, and it's
Hmm.
not like consistent. It's like you can easily speed up and whatever. So,
I mean,
but
that's
you are
cool.
strapped in that thing, and it's like you do feel like you're flying around. Like Soren, a little more intense,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah.
And you're strapped in, so I can ride it because I can't ride Soren.
You can't ride Soren?
No, I can't ride it. It's
Is
my
it too?
brain doesn't function right on that. Like I have extreme vertigo, right? So
Hmm. Oh, okay. Okay. That makes
because
sense.
it's just a bench. Like, I'm
Yeah.
just
It's a
like
bench that you're just dangling off of.
the one time I rode it to see if I can do it, like I was gripping onto what little nubs there were on the seat so tightly that when the ride ended, I almost couldn't move my fingers.
Oh, wow. Holy shit.
That's what I'm like. I can't. Like logically, I know what's happening. Like I'm safe. I'm fine.
Yeah.
But just like I can't, like my brain just like nope, turn that off, turn logic off. But on a ride like the Flight of Passage, where it's essentially the same thing, you are in like a big screen whatever,
Hmm.
because I am strapped in, I feel safe, and like
Hmm.
I know I'm not going to go anywhere. Like I cannot move out of this thing, I can't fall out
Hmm.
basically. uh that's one way why I can ride it. That's why I can ride roller coasters and stuff,
Yeah. Because
because
you're latched in.
I'm latched in.
Yeah.
Like I'll admit, like rides like Space Mountain,
Yeah.
which is a lap bar,
Yeah.
I freak out a little bit.
Yeah.
but
That makes
it's
sense.
manageable to me.
Because we know that thing isn't really going that fast. I mean, I'm sure that helps.
I think isn't like it only goes like
It's only like 18 miles.
20.
Yeah, it's not
It's
fast.
not that fast, right?
It's just they were just the Imagineers. Again, they're so fucking brilliant. They know exactly how to make us feel like we're going
Yeah.
way fast. Like you're like going on that with having no information. Like I'm pretty sure that ride went 100 miles an hour. Like you're just like there's like the turns feel super intense, and
Yeah.
the what little dips you get feel, it's just I don't know, it's great, and I'm glad I'll be able to go on it again. Oh, also, to finish off with the list
Oh
of
yeah.
attractions,
The list.
uh yeah, the list. California Adventure, the Incredicoaster, the Inside Out Emotional Whirlwind, which I
Oh, that
noticed
thing.
that thing that I still haven't seen Pixar Pier.
Oh my
Uh,
god.
yeah, I still haven't seen it. Because I remember my pass wasn't working after October
um,
of
then you just
2019.
never went.
Yeah. I remember I think the last time I went was with you, and like finding out, like I remember asking like, so are they not doing? Well, I think actually it might have been earlier. It might have been like September.
Hmm.
Because I remember asking like, are they not doing Ghost Galaxy? Like, nah, they're doing a thing over over there. I'm like, all right, and I was sad because that's my favorite Halloween re theme.
Right.
Um, I think that was the last time I was there. Was maybe late September,
Oh man,
early October.
that's crazy.
Yeah.
Um,
Uh,
when did Pixar Pier come out?
I think shortly after.
Okay. Because Incredicoaster, I mean, it's still screaming, but like I like what they did with that, definitely. Um,
Holy shit. Um, June 23rd, 2018. That's when Pixar. So I went to
did you just
Disneyland.
not?
I
Did
just
you just
didn't
not
go.
go to California Adventure?
I guess not. I guess I didn't go that deep.
That's weird.
Wait a minute. That's not true at all. I did. I did see it. I'm full of shit. I just didn't go on anything. Cause for my
That makes
birth,
sense.
yeah, I remember for my birthday in May of 2018. Well, it wasn't on my. It was. I still have the ticket. It's the 15th when me, Heidi, and her boyfriend Luis, the three of us went, and
I
you
met
like
you
met
guys.
with us. Yeah,
And we were at
we went
the
to, well, a
the
little like,
pier that
we were
like
at
we are
Lamplight
drinking.
Lounge. Yeah, we had
Yeah.
drinks, and I was pissed because Blair, my other co-host on my streams, he was like, "Hey,
I remember.
I just entered the front gate at Disneyland. Where are you guys?" And I remember we just got our drinks, and I was like, "Hey, we're all in Pixar Pier at Little Lamplight. We could probably get you a seat. We just got in."
Yeah.
Come over here. You just got here. He was like, well, you guys just come over here. Like, we just
We just got. We waited.
yeah. Like, wait a minute. I was like, you could have walked over in like 5 minutes. Like, it wasn't like he was, you know,
Like he
he
wasn't in Galaxy's Edge.
he wasn't in he wasn't in Galaxy's
Walked the
Edge.
whole park.
Yeah. Because then I would get it. I'm like, okay, yeah, you don't want to walk all the way over.
Yeah.
But he said he was
Walked in
in
the
Main
gate.
Street.
Like, come on, dude.
Yeah, I'm like, what? And I brought that up recently to him. He got all bad, and she was like, I don't remember that. He was like, that. I was like, oh, good. I'm like, dude, it kind of pissed me off. I felt kind of insulted. You didn't want to walk over to have drinks with, and you didn't even have to drink. You could have just
Yeah.
sat down and just talk shit with us.
Yeah.
So yeah, I did. I just didn't go on anything. We just went there, and
Okay.
then we continued with our day. But
Didn't we get the cookie?
no, I don't think we
Or
did.
maybe not.
No, but we need to. If it's, I mean, I think all the food's going to be open. I mean,
Well, I
this,
mean, I'm
most of it.
hoping that it's going to be open when we go on the 19th.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Remember, we're still
Shit.
going on the 19th. So we're going
Oh,
to be
that's
there
right.
before all of it opens to eat.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. Oh, yeah.
People
We're
are so
going.
pissed they couldn't get reservations for Lamplight or Carthay Circle.
Oh, you couldn't?
Well, I didn't try because I'm like,
Oh,
you know, I'm there to walk around and like get the little things in different places,
yeah,
not sit down like that's fine. I'm nowhere there. Like I enjoy the festival
yeah.
aspect of things.
I'm
And
looking forward
spending
to it.
spending the $25 on three different things and spending $25 and then having to chip in for like tip and all this other stuff
Yeah,
for one dish,
yeah,
which I'm like, like Carthay Circle and Lamplight Lounge is like one of those things like you go there for a special dinner lunch thing with like friends or
hmm,
whatever.
yeah,
Um, but if at the time it was like the only time you might go there for a while.
yeah,
So I'd rather spend time just going around and trying different things.
yeah.
Like
Which
the
I've
fact
never.
that like there's going to be like mini versions of the Monte Cristo, like
Yeah,
done.
yeah. I'm fine with it. And also keep in mind, even though I've been there during the food and wine. I know this isn't the food and wine festival, but it kind
Right.
of
I
is. It's
mean,
like a
it's
Disneyland
like
version.
different. It's like it's part of all the different festivals they've had.
Yeah, yeah. Like I don't recall getting anything ever even when
Oh,
I
really?
was there, like getting any food, trying it. Like
Mm.
I'd be there during it, but I was like, I just didn't think of it. So,
It's
I
nice to
mean, yeah,
try some of the things. Like it's not ever going to be mind blowingly like, oh my god, this is the best thing ever. But it's
yeah.
cool to try different
It'll
things. So
just
like
be,
try to
yeah,
like theme everything to like when it's Food and Wine Fest. It's like Taste of California, different areas of California, or like Lunar New Year, like a whole bunch of Asian stuff.
yeah,
So
yeah. We'll see. I mean, yeah. I mean, we'll see what we can get our hands on, if anything, when it comes to tickets for D-Land. I mean, do I
yeah,
want to go
because
more
who
than
even
once?
knows? Who even knows if we're gonna be able to get anything?
Yeah, are we gonna? We're probably, for all we know, we won't be able to get anything, and that
For
would
a
suck.
while.
At least for a while. So, I mean, yeah, I'm gonna try. Like I told Nicole, I was like, I didn't tell her about the dates I'm looking at. I'm like, I'm just gonna see what I can get. I mean, first the priority is like her birthday and my birthday. Uh,
Right.
and then it's whatever happens to be. Like our other concern is just discomfort, because wearing a mask when it's 90 degrees outside is not easy.
Yeah,
Because
that's
yeah,
gonna be.
because we did that. Last year we went to the Huntington Library in Pasadena, and this was July, and it was like
Oof.
89 out there.
Yeah.
That was, and we're walking around. It was so it would just it was uncomfortable. I mean,
Yeah.
we had a great time,
But yeah.
but just like we're just like, okay, we're gonna prepare. We're gonna be. I mean, thankfully, I just based off of everything in Disney World, they have like rest stops where it's okay to, you know,
Mhm.
take off your mask and just rest for a bit. I'm assuming they'll be doing that over here too, also like when you eat and stuff.
Mhm.
But like you can rest if you want to take off your mask for like 5 or 10 minutes.
Yeah.
But I mean, it'll be cool to be in there again, even though again it's like a weird post-apocalyptic version
Of it.
of it.
Like I'm
So
curious how much you're gonna charge
yeah, I think
for half the stuff open.
I think I also heard or saw that that it'll be no park hopping. I mean, that made sense at least at first in Disney World, considering the distances between the
Yeah.
parks. But over here, it's like they might as well be joined. Like, there's not that much of a. I don't know if that's gonna be. I didn't see anything that confirmed that. But
Yeah, because it's not like California Adventure has a lot.
yeah,
I mean, what's open over there? It's just the Incredicoaster.
so it's oh, I didn't finish it. So it's
Yeah.
Incredicoaster, the Inside Out Emotional
Right.
Whirlwind, Little Mermaid, Ariel's Undersea
No.
Adventure, Radiator Spring Racers, and Toy Story Midway Mania. That's it.
Interesting on that
Yeah,
one too.
Yeah, there's
So that's
way less. In California, pretty much everything's
because
gonna be.
almost all of the other Cars Land rides are not there. Um,
Mm-mm,
like Monsters Inc. is not there.
mm-mm.
Any of the stuff in by the Little Mermaid, all the other rides by there are not
Mm-mm.
there.
No, and like yeah, so everything in like every like so like no Soren,
I'm
no
assuming
Gert, like
also
just
no show at the
yeah, I would
Hyperion.
yeah probably not because I don't see. I mean this is just like the attractions,
Yeah, so like I get
but
no part, but if it's nothing, who's gonna choose to just go to California Adventure?
yeah, like it would make sense. Like yeah, just go in between.
Or
Yeah, just
there better be a different price for California Adventure.
yeah, like a way lower price. Like okay, like Disneyland is like $100 and something. California Adventure
Like
is like 80 or
80,
like
75,
60 or
80
something. Yeah,
something, right? Because I'm
so
like, I really want to pay $100 to go to off the page.
yeah, like some place we've been going to for essentially $10 for a while. So
Right. So I'm like, yeah, I don't know.
yeah,
Unless they keep that food thing. But even then, at that point, they're like,
it's still only so much. And by
so yeah,
then we're gonna have Disneyland to like go and eat in. We'll get the
yeah,
full
it's like, let's get my Monte Cristo.
yeah. Like I know
Did it
I
tell you
don't
what restaurants are open?
not on this list,
I'm
but
curious. The one I like, because we're gonna get like some stuff at the Touch of Disney, but like
yeah.
I really miss the fried chicken
Oh,
from
that's
over there,
right.
dude.
Damn it. Yeah.
Like,
Uh,
like I'll get that, or that, and literally like the freaking the Ronto Roaster breakfast edition
yeah. Yeah.
at Galaxy's Edge. I
Yeah.
want that.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, they're great. Those things. I mean, I never had the breakfast. Did I? No, wait, I did. I remember one of the times we went super early. I
Right?
think that was the. Let me see. Yeah, the second trip. Where we got there like at 6:30 in the morning. Yeah, I
Yeah.
remember I got there wrong because I remember I didn't eat anything.
That
I
means
remember I got
you've
I
never experienced the early morning must get on the rise of resistance thing.
no I haven't.
Oh my god, I do not miss that at all.
I bet. I remember you telling me about it. It just
Oh
sounded
my
like a
god. That's another thing. Like if it's hopefully it'll be easy to get on it if it's only 15%.
yeah.
Otherwise, man, it's it was yeah. I mean, I hope it runs.
Yeah.
I think it broke
Yeah.
down a lot.
Yeah. I
I
remember
mean,
seeing reports on it. Like, oh, it broke
yeah.
down again,
I
guys. Like,
mean, once you get ride it, you'll get why it does. There's so
I
many
know there's
parts to
a
that
lot of
thing.
things would happen. So
Like, have you seen the videos and stuff from it, or have you kept?
I've only seen. I haven't. I still somehow have avoided watching a complete ride through.
Yeah,
Um.
if you can avoid it, don't.
Yeah. I have.
Because
It's been over a year now, and I've been able to avoid a ride. Like I'll see like clips here and there. Like you'd see like the part where Kylo stop. All that. But I haven't seen the complete thing. There's still a lot that's a mystery to me, which I'm glad I've been able to avoid, even though I'm subscribed to like two different, ride through YouTube channels. So, and I've
right,
somehow just, no, you know what? I'm
avoided
going
all
to,
of like most of it. Like it's like it's such a unique ride
yeah.
that it's really an experience. More
Hmm.
like I call that more an experience than a ride. I mean, there's
Yeah.
ride components plural,
Yeah.
which is it's just crazy that it's like so many different things. But uh yeah, like I hope that um like I hope I mean like I just hope like if you go to one of these days that it's not going to be impossible to get on it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm going to try. Like, whether
Yeah.
I mean, for all I know, the only day I'll be able to get is the same day you guys are going, and we would just all just hang out most of the day, and you'll get to see my reaction. Because yeah,
Yeah, I feel like
Nicole,
I had to figure that out with LJ and see when he wants to come down because I do
yeah,
want to try for that, but then I also don't want to go by. Then I realize this now. I'm like, yeah, but then I also don't want to go by myself.
yeah. I mean,
God damn it.
yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah. You still haven't gotten a proper introduction of my girlfriend that I've been with for almost a year now because of fucking COVID. Just
Mm.
like I think the only time you guys were able to actually properly not still not probably talk was in
At
downtown
the
Disney
downtown
when it was
Disney.
super loud.
Blair's
Yeah,
birthday.
yeah, for Blair's birthday, like you guys couldn't even communicate because it was I think it was pretty hot that day too. So
Yeah, I remember.
at least if we all went, we'd all be able to take off our masks at some point and actually talk to each other.
I mean,
But
again, like I'll have been at least
yeah,
vaccinated. So,
yeah, yeah,
but I mean, that protects me.
yeah, yeah,
But I'm still pretty much. I'm not like I'm gonna get vaccinated and just be like I'm gonna go out and lick everything.
yeah. Yeah, because you can still get it. You just
I'm
won't
still
have
careful.
the
Like I'm
yeah,
still. I just won't feel as much anxiety for myself,
yeah,
right? So I won't think twice about going to get something at the grocery store.
yeah,
But I'm still gonna like I literally bought 100 disposable masks.
yeah, yeah. So did
Um,
I. I got
and
50 of them.
I bought this thing insert that takes out disposable and kind of puts it away from your face.
Huh?
It looks like
Interesting.
so
Huh?
it clips on to like the disposables
Yeah,
like this, and then it kind of keeps it so it doesn't touch your mouth,
yeah, yeah,
and it helps with the whole glasses thing.
yeah, yeah.
Um, because I kind of have that with my other mask, but sometimes I feel weird because it looks like it's a mesh mask,
Oh,
but it's
okay.
not.
Yeah, yeah,
But like I don't want to deal with people going like, "What is that?" So I'm just like, whatever, fine. I'll just get
yeah, yeah,
a disposable, put this in it, and then I have another cloth mask.
yeah. On top of it.
I just bought a Spaceballs the mask, the face mask mask. So I'm gonna wear that.
That's great. Yeah, yeah. I'll just be wearing my the newer masks I got that actually like here. It actually has it's just black right here, but it has this like
The pocket filter.
yeah, it has the
Yeah.
pocket so you could put, and I have a bunch of the filters already.
Yeah.
So
So do
so
I.
I could just add it to that. So because the mask is the every other mask I've used except for like maybe like my Pussifer mask, like the did my my candle just went out because accidentally left these on for like 3 days, and they're timed every like 8 hours they're
Oh,
on, they're 8 hours they're off. So
nice.
oh well, but but yeah, these are they have the adjustable ear straps that are like light elastic,
Oh yeah.
so they don't hurt my ears at all. The other ones, like my ears would just be super super sore afterwards.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'm willing to go. I mean, Blair is still on the fence. Blair's only thing is he doesn't like that it has to be scheduled because God forbid you have one planned day of going to Disneyland. So
I mean, you just gotta accept that this is for now.
yeah, in due time,
Yeah.
unless the world ends, which then Disneyland would be the least of our concerns.
Yeah. But, like,
This is just for the time being. Like you don't have
yeah.
to go,
You
but
don't have
just
to go. It's
but
it's not a necessity.
yeah. But I don't see harm if you can afford it to just go maybe at least once,
Yeah.
and see Disneyland in this very unique state.
Yeah, right. Like
Hmm.
we went during COVID. It was
Yeah,
weird,
it was
but we
weird.
did it.
Yeah, we did it. So we
You know,
saw it when we saw it after it was closed for a year. Yeah.
like yeah.
Oh well. So I mean, I think I did hear that Blue Bayou will not be open.
Mm.
I think, but I know they sell the Monte Cristo also. In the little restaurant across the way. Like it's more or less the same menu minus a couple things.
Yeah, I mean, like
Um,
as long as they have it at that touch of Disney, like
it'll be fine.
it's not like I get the Monte Cristo like every single time. Like I get it
Yeah,
like maybe once every 2 years, literally.
yeah,
Because I don't really eat at those restaurants.
yeah,
You know what I mean? So it's
yeah,
like I'd be fine.
yeah, yeah. It's fine.
But I do go to that chicken place more
Yeah,
often than not.
for me it's the chicken place and it's
Oh, and
and the
uh,
Mexican place
yeah,
in
Mexican
Big
place,
Thunder, and next to Big Thunder. Those are my like go tos. So
and then the corn dogs.
yeah, the corn dogs. Yeah.
And
So and
sometimes
I
Jolly Holiday, depending.
yeah, the Jolly Hall. I mean, that kind of turned in. That's like that had like different iterations of it throughout, like within like 2 years worth of time. Like, but I mean, I'm looking forward to it. I've missed it, so like I'm just happy. I mean, I wait a minute. I didn't see the railroad open on that list. That's going to be a problem. Well, I mean, I hope they announce like, oh yeah, don't worry, the railroad's going to be open because we don't count that
Like
amongst
I
the
can
rest. I
see how
mean,
you can social distance on that one.
yeah, it seems like that'd be almost easier because
Like
you
I
got plenty
mean,
of space to work
in the
with.
one that's like the side, just close off one row.
Yeah,
I mean, yeah, still, I mean, any ride you can go on is going to be less capacity. So like, just
yeah,
uh, have the one row.
yeah,
That's it. And then the ones that are like bench seats, normal bench seats, just like
yeah,
every other with a plexiglass thing that they're probably going to do anyway.
yeah,
Man,
yeah. Right.
that's a ride where you can just once you get on it, you're like, oh, I'm good for another like 20 minutes.
Yeah, yeah. Just
Or
and
how long?
that's why to this day I'm like not in a huge rush to go to Disney World because I know the railroad's still closed.
Yeah.
So
But
in Magic Kingdom.
I guess it
So
kind of makes sense because do you do the stops and then have to?
yeah, unless
Mm,
they did just no, you don't stop. It's Main Street only. It's
yeah,
just a 20-minute and we don't stop. I mean that would, I feel like because yeah, I guess that does make sense. The only way it would work is if you didn't stop.
are the monorails gonna work?
I didn't see anything about the monorail.
Because I'm assuming they're opening up Pixar and Mickey and Friends
Um,
for parking.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I mean, yeah, Pixar and Mickey and Friends is going to be open for for the thing we're going to. So like
Right,
that's going to be the one we go, and we have to walk the where the tram goes
right.
there because they're not running the tram. We're going to be
I don't know
walking
trams.
down. So we're already going to be getting a little bit of a workout the moment we park. So
I know I'm not used to it.
yeah, yeah. So I know we're going a month from tomorrow. So
Literally.
yeah, literally a month from tomorrow. So I mean, I'll be looking at stuff, like on YouTube. I'm sure everyone's gonna be posting that got to get tickets for because today was the first day of it. I'm sure I'll be I'm curious as to what it's like.
Mm.
So yeah, yeah, I'm gonna try to get third, try to get the 19th, and then maybe try to get the fourth, and then it's just like whatever I can get my hands on it, pretty much.
I like when we did the whole Galaxy's Edge thing.
Yeah.
Where am I gonna go? I don't know. Whatever.
Yeah, just whatever we can get. Oh,
Whichever we can
seven,
get. Go.
7 in the morning. All right, fuck it, let's do it. So
Oh man.
yeah, so it's gonna be the same thing. Whatever we can get our hand, like we have our preferred times to go, but when it comes down to it, it's whatever we can get our hands on. So
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I mean, and it's gonna be like a whole day
yeah,
thing. I'm
yeah,
assuming because we're paying for it. Like
we're paying for it. Like it isn't like when we
like a
have our
normal, like we're like a normal family paying for
yeah,
a ticket for the day.
yeah, like
Like
opening to closing.
yeah, right? Or at least until I can't anymore.
Yeah,
Like yeah, like I have a feeling like passes are going to be way more expensive,
Oh yeah.
and probably I'm assuming they're getting rid of the monthly payment
I
thing,
think they will. There's a part of me
or
that
they
hopes
only
they
do it
will.
for the most expensive one.
Yeah, yeah. So either would surprise me. Neither would surprise me.
Yeah,
So
because I feel like they've been trying to figure out a way to thin the herd, as it
just
were,
at least a little bit. Yeah.
right? Um, and I'm assuming that less people will be inclined to pay for the expensive one on a monthly basis.
Yeah. I mean, even though I know it would affect like all of us being able to get a pass, if they did get rid of that, I also am not against it. So
Yeah,
because I remember what it was like when that was the case. So yeah,
right.
it's weird.
Yeah, we'll see.
Oh well.
Yeah.
So I believe I guess in a few minutes or because I remember for there were a few times for Mandalorian like we had to wait like an extra hour or so after midnight for them to put up a new episode.
I don't know. It's usually up. Like WandaVision's always been up at
Like at
midnight.
midnight, pretty much. Okay, well, I guess
Yeah.
we can wrap it
Yeah.
since it's pretty much midnight. I mean, uh, let me see who showed up because I know the stream chat shows even people that just dropped in for like 5 seconds and then left
Like,
again.
what is horse hockey they're
One,
talking
two,
about?
three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 people, and it's weird, but it's weird. It doesn't show the M78 Eddie guy on this list,
Huh.
and we still have one viewer that is apparently
Hi.
me somehow, or maybe I don't know. I wish it was more consistent with like
That's weird.
who shows up, but it never is. So it's just
I'm not logged in to my Twitch, so
okay. So it's not you.
it's not me.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I'm not watching it. Like the app isn't even on my phone. It's not even
Yeah.
up. It was I just so that someone was watching. I mean, it could have been my brother that just
Let
is
me know.
watching and didn't make an account. I don't know. Whatever. We talked about shit we would have talked about anyway.
That is true.
Alrighty,
Um,
so yeah, so Nicole and I are going to Universal Studios tomorrow
oh,
because
nice.
they have the taste of
Yeah, I saw.
Universal.
Yeah.
So yeah, we did that. Neither of us have been to Harry Potter Wizarding World. It is open except everything is open except for the rides.
Oh, okay. I mean,
Yeah,
it's still a good experience to go because it
yeah.
does look like is she like
The
Harry
way
Potter?
the way you feel about Star Wars is the way she feels about Harry Potter.
Oh man,
Yeah,
then you've got to take her to Florida
yeah.
where it's less crazy.
Is there a big difference between the two over here and over there?
Oh yeah, because it's two parts. The one here is Hogsmeade.
Uh-huh.
So, but the one in Florida is Hogsmeade. This is where they get you. You have to go to both parks, Universal Studios and and Universal Studios Islands of Adventure, because one is in Universal Studios proper. That is
Mhm.
Diagon Alley.
Yeah.
I mean, that is literally kind of like, and they do it in a way where like if you don't know where you're going, you can miss it. It looks like the entrance
Really?
to a bathroom.
What?
And then you go around the corner. You know the bathrooms where like there's two entrances,
Yeah.
like one's the women's and one's the men's. Like
Yeah,
you
yeah.
go around the corner, that is one of them. I can't remember
Huh.
which one it is.
That's
I think it's
interesting.
Diagon Alley.
Huh.
But then there is a train that goes from one park to the other.
Wait, is it the actual train? Is it
Yes,
Hogwarts
you're on like
Express?
that is an experience because then you
Holy
go through
shit.
this whole thing. Like you're looking outside the window. This is why I think it's going to be similar to what they might do to go from the Star Wars hotel to the
Yeah.
park. You're in something, and the windows are just a screen.
So that's what they do over there.
Yeah, like the whole Dementor thing goes on,
Holy, she's gonna lose her fucking shit when
and
I tell her this.
going one way and going the other way is two different experiences.
Really?
Yeah. So one's Diagon Alley,
Uh huh.
and then you hop on the train, and then you go to um, Hogsmeade, and then vice versa.
Yeah, yeah.
And there's an illusion part where if you're watching people, you'll see them go through the fucking wall.
Holy shit.
Yeah. It's really well done. Like it really upped the ante for Disney too.
Yeah.
I think that's why we get like I think without that we would not
We-
gotten Galaxy's Edge the way it
Yeah.
is. I think it started with Cars Land, and then Harry Potter, and then now
Galaxy's
Edge.
Yeah.
And then they added Diagon Alley,
Mm-hmm.
and then we're Avengers Campus, I guess.
Yeah, yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah.
But the Hollywood version is only Hogsmeade. There's no two parks basically. That's why.
Okay.
But the rides, I mean, like the rides in Hogsmeade on both sides are similar.
Mm-hmm.
I think they have another extra ride in Florida.
Of course, because
But then in Diagon Alley, there's the other roller coaster, or the other ride.
So. Yeah, yeah, I know. The one shot where I want to try to get, like, she made me a fan. I mean, yeah, I watched the movies when they came out, but just like once. I think I watched the third one, Prisoner of Azkaban, like 2 or 3 times back then. But yeah, we watched all of them, and she read all the books. Like she started reading the books before the movies even came out. So, so I'm officially a fan now. I want a fucking wand. So,
yeah.
And I did confirm the one shop is open. I don't think they're doing that little experience that I looked up. Because I remember you tell me about it. You're like, yeah, they mostly just pick kids. Like to do that.
Unless somehow you get in there with a whole bunch of adults.
Then they'll have you do it. But it's
because that'd be like kind of crappy. Like
yeah,
you don't pick a little kid.
Yeah. It's just like all these kids and like a couple adults, like Jim from Jim gets it, but little Timmy is just staying there all sad.
That'd be so crappy.
Yeah, like this little Timmy who's dressed up as Harry Potter, who's just like this light in his eyes, doesn't get picked.
Dude is like, I don't even know what Harry Potter is. Man.
Yeah.
Is Doctor Strange?
Yeah. Yeah. This is Marvel, right? Where's Thanos? Right. Like just like what? And just twist the knife even more. So, yeah, we're going tomorrow. It'll be an all-day thing. Nice. So are you guys? So based off that, I probably most likely won't be able to join you guys tomorrow for Falcon and Winter Soldier, unless you were planning on recording it like on Sunday or something.
Oh my god, I forgot about that. LJ can't do it tomorrow either. So
oh shit.
We might try this weekend.
Okay, I mean Sunday I could do. Saturday because Saturday, or just doing the dinner thing, at dinner and a movie thing. But Sunday I could, because I'm gonna watch either tonight or tomorrow night the new episode, the first episode. So, but I mean,
you're still on mine, right? You're still on my.
I've been using it.
Okay. I don't know if you noticed, but Raya and the Last Dragon is on there.
Oh yeah, I saw that. Okay. When I didn't watch the movie, I saw that it was on there.
Yeah, because I bought it. So
okay.
Just FYI, if you guys want to watch it.
Okay. Yeah, I managed to kind of talk Nicole into rewatching the prequels with me, so we'll see what happens with that. She's like, I don't want to watch those, and then I showed her. I remember I just watched a clip. The before we completely wrap up, I watched the first scene with Kylo Ren and Snoke, because you know how much I love that scene. And then like she was like talking about how like she was fascinated about the way Snoke looked. And then it went from there, and then I nerded out on her, and I told her what the original theories were of who Snoke was, which was Darth Plagueis the White. She was like, "Who's that?" And I said, "Okay, here we go." And then it went from there, and then I showed her the clip, the opera scene from episode 3, and then I showed her that, and she was like, "All right, yeah, let's watch them." Nice. So that piqued her interest. So I told her, I was like, we can even get high and watch them if you want. So we'll take some edibles and watch them. But I do want to rewatch them. So because I still would like to do a drunken, long, like 5 to 8 hour stream where that's all I'm doing is talking and raging about Star Wars. while drunk and high.
Nice.
So, but yeah, but when that'll happen, I don't know. But I still want to do it at some point. So, so no curious discussion tomorrow night. I did one. I tried doing one like over a week ago, and I like rage quit like in the middle of it. Like I went for like a pee break, and then I just stopped the stream because my phone was blowing up with texts from like my brother and my mom.
Wow.
And it was just ruined. I was getting really pissed off live on stream. So I was like, I'll be right back, guys. And I just ended it. And I even I was so mad, I even temporarily disabled my Twitch account. I was like, fuck it, I'm not doing this anymore. I was like, it keeps getting ruined by shit. So, but then Nicole was like, you just, come on. Like, like Nicole and Blair were like, just calm the fuck down. So, but yeah, I'll pick up where that left off probably next Friday or something.
Right on.
Fucking got water all over myself. All right.
Alrighty,
Well,
dude. You have fun tomorrow, and then I'll let you know about this weekend.
yeah. Let me know.
And then I guess we'll just keep watch for when
The whole
tickets
Disney
go on sale and
thing, yeah.
whatever. I imagine it's got to be soon because they got to know that people need to plan.
Yeah. So I think within the next week we'll know when.
Yeah.
If they don't go on sale within the next week, we'll at least know when. Within the next week. So we'll see.
Yeah.
All right. So for the one viewer who somehow stuck around but didn't say anything, thank you for joining us. All right. Till next time, I guess.
Peace.
All right. Later on.
All right. Bye.